sharp just like my
Yo.
magic.
And we're live. How's the audio?
Yeah.
Let me know how's the audio, guys.
Yo.
Yo, is there any way you could put like a table?
All right, fool. We talk about all this before.
No. Yeah, to like
Fool,
stretch the mixer.
Right there.
No, just for the mixer.
Okay, hold on.
You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I don't want to pull it and have it fall. No, yeah, for sure. Do your thing. We are live. Prime versus everyone. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video, comment on the video, and confirm your subscription too, guys. We have a very special guest in the building. Prime's about to set up the new Rodecaster Pro. I got the old one at the Underground Hip Hop Blog HQ. Prime just upgraded to the fucking new Rodecaster. I just realized that, bro. Oh, you can't do it? Okay.
Cool.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
But you just move the couch forward.
Yeah, I'll move the couch forward, guys.
Yeah.
I got you guys.
That's what I told you earlier.
Kendrick for president.
Sheesh.
Kendrick 2024. Prime. I'm gonna buy Prime a T-shirt that says Kendrick Lamar 2024.
Why not, right? Shout out to Compton.
Can you get two?
Shout out to Compton right there. This was a hater for sure. What up?
I'm not no hater. I love Kendrick.
Hey, where are you from?
Audio check is
Prime?
good. I'm from South Central.
No, but like what area?
South Central? The Florence district.
Okay.
Ahí la...
So that's like, what hood is that? Like Florence?
Florencia, yeah.
Órale.
There's only one hood in the Florence district.
Okay. Nah, I used to live in TJ with some fools that were deported.
Yeah.
And actually, what's the face of LA? What's his name?
Baldacci.
Yeah, he knows him.
Oh, yeah,
From
yeah.
back in the day, because he did like, well, my homie, his name's Toker. Well,
Yeah.
not his name, but Toker from the Gangsters, something like that.
Órale.
But I lived out there with him for a while. Like,
Oh,
out
yeah.
there in TJ way.
That's when that was click.
I've been riding with like 6 Florences deportees way in TJ way. They
Nah,
had my
it was-
back deep way. I was like 17, 18. And I was just riding with those fools like all tatted up on the face and shit. And they kept telling me stories about Florence and all this stuff and shit. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's because that hood way is very paisa way.
Oh, okay.
That hood is very very Mexican way.
All right.
Yeah, that area, like, you know how in the park is very, very like paisa way.
Yeah, I've been, but I don't really
So
remember
that's why Florence, most of them are gonna be like that. Like a lot of them are like homied out, but cuando te hablan, way, puro paisa way.
Yeah.
A veces some of them don't even speak English. English, and they'll be all tatted up, and they're from here.
Yeah.
They're just raised in that area because that area is very, it's just Mexican. Fool.
And now it's different. Now you got the kids that don't speak Spanish.
Yeah, I know you got that. Yeah. All right, so we have the homie from El Bordo podcast out of Tijuana. Yo.
Saludos.
It's
Introduce
El
yourself.
Gordo?
Huh?
El Gordo, right?
El Bordo.
El Bordo
Yeah.
podcast.
El
Yo,
Bordo,
I need to
yeah.
check that shit out, bro.
Yeah, please
Because I
do.
know I stumbled upon it. It's pretty popular in the niche that you cover,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
let's be
yeah.
real. I think I stumbled upon it when, I was randomly checking out the food community. Because, when you check out the food community,
'Cause you're a stalker.
the algorithm gives
Yeah,
you
sure,
related videos. And I think I stumbled upon some content
Yeah, also
from
I've
here.
been
So
on
much
a few
respect.
podcasts and like Cam Gagnon, which is Mark Gagnon, is Andrew Schultz opener. So it's
Andrew
interesting.
Schultz. That's
Yeah.
the dude. That's the fighter, right?
Yeah, so
The
I-
comedian fighter?
No, he's a comedian. He's just a comedian.
He's not a fighter?
Nah, I don't
No,
think he
that's
fights.
So,
Shops.
okay.
The
Yeah.
Shops.
So I
okay.
was-
So him sitting on Joe Rogan makes everyone think he's a fighter, but he's not.
Yeah, I guess.
No,
But he trains, though, right? He trains, though,
right?
There's
He doesn't.
another podcaster, Brandon Schaub.
Yeah,
Brandon
that's
Shaw.
it.
There you
that's
go,
it,
bro.
that's
Yeah, I'm not really a fan of Brendan Shaw, but Andrew Schultz, yeah.
Andrew Schultz
So
is
one of his
dope.
How
guys.
come you're not a fan of Brandon Schaub?
I don't know. It's just comedy. It's just not.
It's not there for
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's nothing like. It's not that I don't like him. It's just his comedy's not like whatever.
I'm
right.
not
It's not
familiar
there.
with that comedian. I'm gonna check him out and see if he's good or not.
Yeah, so I did a podcast with him out there in New York, and they're like a 4-hour podcast. That was pretty cool.
That's
God
what's
damn.
up.
And then I did one with Concrete and with Danny Jones. His
Danny Jones.
Yeah, his podcast's pretty popping too. So I did one with him.
And who is he?
He's from Florida. He has a famous podcast, and he just has like all kinds of like conspiracy theories, like
Oh, okay, that's
CIA
right.
agents, like ex-cartel. Like,
Hey,
all
bro,
kinds of shit.
you know the moon landing is all fake, right?
Yeah.
There's no
Oh,
fucking way
God.
in
You
the
think
50s and
Stanley
60s.
Kubrick
Of
filmed this
course,
shit?
bro. Think about it. There's no fucking way in the 60s we fucking
I mean, I
broke
can't say
through
there's
the
no way,
atmosphere
but-
and went to the moon and landed, bro. It's not happening. We've never went back since. But Russia sent a monkey. That's some real shit.
Shout out to Russia. Thinking forward.
Talking about conspiracy theories. I
Equal
think that's the
opportunity.
biggest conspiracy theory out right now.
Oh, they say the Nazis made it
don't
first.
know.
Like NASA didn't realize that there was going to be YouTube and there was going to be internet 50 years later, bro, exposing all this
They
bullshit.
say the
because
Nazis made it
if
to
you
the
see
moon
all
first,
that
bro.
footage, bro, it's just like Mickey Mouse shit.
We don't
right?
know.
A little thing, tinfoil fucking hat, landing on the moon, and it just doof, flying up in the air.
What
And
do you
these
think,
people were
Prime?
supposed to be in it. Come on,
Oh, hell no.
that's what's up, man.
So what's up? What up? So,
Yo,
yeah,
Prime versus everybody. Who
Hell
the
yeah.
fuck are you pissed off at today, Prime?
I am pissed
Because
off.
you do talk your
Shout
shit,
about
bro.
I got your
I'm
back.
about to
bro.
put you
Today,
on
who am I
check.
pissed off at? I'm pissed off at
Trump.
Nah, I'm not. I'm pissed off at nobody today. Not today. Maybe just you for being a little hyena and being all
That's
picky
right.
while we're on live.
No, I just don't want to damage the headphones. You know
Oh,
what I'm
no,
saying?
for sure, phone.
But that being said, it's just having us learn as we go. I think we're gonna get extensions.
Yeah,
and,
we are. In
and
a few next few
more
days.
headphones. These are my headphones, by the
You
way,
wanna
from Underground
put
Hip Hop
all
Blog.
the
No, I got you.
Just move the couch forward.
Yeah.
No, I got it right here.
You good?
Yep.
There you go. Move forward. Yeah. You're good. But yeah, so yeah, let us know how long you've been having your podcast, how long you've been doing this, and how do you describe your podcast?
I've been watching podcasts for forever. Well, you know, over here in America, you guys been having like satellite radio and all this shit since like I've been tapped into that since the longest. But it wasn't really a thing. Like it wasn't a market for podcasts out there in Mexico. So after the pandemic, like I've been having the idea of a podcast since I was watching. To be honest, the thing that really sparked it was Drink Champs.
Nice.
Just
Shout
'cause
out.
of-
Hey, shout out to the homies in Drink Champs. They follow Underground Hip Hop Blog. Man, that's possibly one of the dopest podcasts in hip hop
Yeah, for
today.
real.
Period. Even above Uprocks, even above this bullshit guy Elliot Wilson's podcast. It's all about Drink Champs, guys. I think Drink Champs is the #1 podcast in the world, dude.
Hell nah, Cap.
But you mentioned here in the States, right? Like, so did you originally shoot it in Mexico?
Yeah. So I mean, after the pandemic, podcasts started popping out there, like in
Serious?
Monterrey and like Mexico City and stuff like that. So
Man.
like the market started popping up because everybody was home, but it was very American at first. You know what I mean? So like the first style was more like the more it's called Creativa. Maybe you guys heard of it. But it's very Joe Roganish. You know what I mean? Like very open and like politically and
Bro,
stuff like that.
I am honored that you're sitting here, bro, because I really respect the homeland. I'm first generation. I don't know if you know if anyone else here is first generation, but I am. My parents migrated here. My dad's from La Ruana, Michoacan, Mexico. You know, straight up the dirt road,
Straight
bro.
up Cartel member over there.
Yeah, dog. Like all my my grandfather and my great uncles, they all shot each other to death over a woman. And they were all drunk, bro. That's how savage it was, bro.
Yeah.
Like just
And you know
nothing
what's
happened.
crazy?
still
that-
savage like that, and it's. I mean,
And that
I'm
woman was
impressed
my
they shot
grandma.
each other and they didn't machete each other because that's what they do out there. Like they
So-
run around with machetes. No, Cap, like yeah.
Yeah,
that's what
so
they- it's
family
fucking wild out there.
reunions get canceled because of our past, bro.
Yeah.
It's such a shame.
Yeah,
But,
my mom was born in Tijuana, in Zona Norte.
Tijuana?
And when she was pregnant with me, she was having like the pains and shit. She drove all the way to LA to have me
shit.
out here.
So
Yeah.
my
You wanted
family-
that Medi-Cal that way?
Yeah, because we had some family members out here.
Yeah.
And so I was born. I was telling you right there with Crucito like, in the
oh,
movie.
The
That's right.
memorial?
That's the hospital.
Is it
So-
the general
Yeah,
hospital?
General
right?
Hospital. Yeah,
shit.
General Hospital. yeah.
So my dad's
Yeah.
And then, as
So
soon
my-
as I was born, back to TJ.
so on my dad's side of the family, you know, a couple uncles got murked by the cartels and shit. And then I guess my great aunt owns property over there. She rents out apartments in La Ruana, Michoacan.
Mm-hmm.
And then my other aunts and nieces, they are veterinarians for farm animals.
Okay.
And I
Yeah, 'cause
remember
it's a
as
very
a
rural city.
very
yeah,
rural city. And I
yeah.
remember as a kid, there was a pig with 2 heads. So my family were smart. So they used it as an attraction.
Yeah, like for the circus and shit.
Yeah,
they
dog.
do
So
that, yeah.
every weekend they would allow kids to go into the backyard and just see the pig, and they would charge them.
Yeah.
You know, it was the most disgusting pig I've ever seen in my life, bro. And then I remember, you know, going to the corner shops, getting the sodas in the bag,
Yeah.
the Coke.
Yeah, yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And then one thing I would always remember, like my father, whenever he would go over there, people would just flock to him, dog, and he would just give money to people. You know what I'm saying?
And it's
Yeah.
crazy that your dad lived in down here where all the cartel guys are at. What?
Yeah, La Ruana is one of the
La
craziest
Ruana?
right
Oh,
now. yeah.
So you know about La Ruana, Michoacan?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what's up.
everybody knows. If you watch the news, everybody knows about
Serious?
La Ruana.
Yeah, that's where we're from, dude. And
Yeah. Yeah, but it's all country.
All the women don't even shave their legs over there, bro. I remember as a kid, I used to tell my mom, like, what the fuck? Like, how come these girls don't shave their legs? And they were just like, yo, it's like that.
Yeah.
It's nothing but dirt roads. So it's like more beneficial to them not to shave it because it protects their legs.
Okay.
That's what I was told.
Oh, hell no.
That's crazy.
So that being said, bro, it's such an honor that you're here, bro, because your podcast is derived and from the homeland, bro. Like, I can't state that enough, bro.
And one thing that I've been watching the homie for the last. I met you at the Conejo release party. Right?
Yeah.
At the gallery. That's when I met him, and I started tapping in more with him. And he's very hip hop. He's definitely tuned in with the LA like view of hip hop. He's very tuned in through that lens.
That's right.
And that's one thing that kind of got my attention. Like, oh, the homie knows what's up.
Yeah, it's because LA might not know, but Tijuana is like West Coast as fuck. Like Tijuana loves the whole West Coast movement. Like it all like drips down there. You know what I mean? Like back then, now because of the social media stuff, but back then it used to take a few years for like the music that was popping out here to go out there. So like all the classic shit was popping, like all the Eazy-E and all that stuff was still popping like in 98, 2000 and shit like that. So yeah, Tijuana's always been like part of like this whole movement. You know what I mean? Just because it's on this side too, and then the same like the G-Funk and all that. You hear them playing in the taxis and las camiones, like, you know what I mean? The buses, they be playing that shit. So yeah, man.
And let us know your upbringing. How did it, like, what was life for you growing up? Like, as a kid, and at what point did like hip hop come into your life?
Well, the community out there, the border community, it's crazy, like I said, because you have all these tourists coming every day. So like the clubs have to play the music that they want to listen to. So it's very hip hop, it's very whatever is tapped in over here, people know out there. So, but at the same time, like there's tons of people like me that live in TJ but go to school in San Diego. So like you mix around with like the American culture, but then you go back home to Mexico, you know what I mean, to like motherland. So you get the purest of both, you know what I mean? So like my uncle being a border kid too, he put me on like Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg and all that thing, which I love. But to be honest, the first hip hop thing the first song that I memorized and I still know to this day is I Want to Get High by Cypress Hill, because they had the Spanish album. So like once they had the Spanish album, everybody in TJ had that shit. You know what I mean? Like everybody, because I mean Cypress Hill. You know,
I can only imagine how big Cypress Hill is over there.
It still is. It still is to this day. Just because, like I was telling Prime, like you look for a representation. Like I love hip hop, and you keep fucking Dr. Dre, Exhibit, they're all good. But once you see like a Mexican or something, like oh hell yeah, like you want to look for your people doing that.
Now you're right, fool. That's kind of like what everybody kind of gets stricken by, like, when you find your people doing it.
Yeah.
And on a dope level too, very original. You kind of like, fuck, that's dope.
Yeah, like I was telling you, like I didn't see a difference of like Shadow being a Southsider and like me being a Paisa. It was just like, oh, Mexican rapping. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You learn that afterwards, like when you grow up and you mix the politics and shit like that. But like when I was young, that was the first thing. Like a Little One, Conejo,
Shadow, Little One.
Yeah, all them like Little Rob and all that stuff. So my playlist consisted of like them between like Snoop Dogg songs and like some Texas shit too, like 3 6 Mafia and like all kinds of shit. You know what I mean? Like Nas and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, I was always that guy with the headphones. You know what I mean? Like my binder, I remember I would buy like. My mom always used to stop like after we crossed the border. She would stop at the 7-Eleven before she dropped me off in elementary school, and I would always buy like the Source magazine.
Oh, you were going to school in the U.S.?
Yeah, always. Like I lived in Mexico, but we crossed every day.
Oh, so you're one of those families.
Yeah,
damn,
no, and there's tons of them, bro. Like in the border.
That's a whole culture out there.
Yeah, it's a whole culture of us, bro. Like the whole thing, like crossing the border every day and shit like that. That's a whole nother thing. That's what I'm saying. Like me being out here and like and going to school out here, it's a whole different vibe. And then like as soon as I got off of school, go straight to TJ and live out there with my homies that I grew up with and shit like that. And I was the only one in my crew that went to school in San Diego. Shit. So out there I'll be kicking with like the locals every time, and like the parties of the school parties, high school parties, they were like, hey, who's this? And like, oh, he's a homie, but he goes to school in San Diego. Like, oh, okay, like, you know what I mean? I was like the outsider. And out here too, because they never see me at the parties. The girls were like, hey, how come I never see you at the parties? But I was like a revolucion, like at 3 a.m. or 4 a.m, like rolling deep with like 40 guys. So I was always kind of, you know what I mean, like in the middle. But it was cool because I got best of both sides, you know.
Shout out to Revolucion. If people don't know about Revolucion, it's like the main hub, the main track.
Yeah, where all the clubs are.
Where all the clubs are at.
Back then, you have like and one block will be playing like in an after party, Too Short, and another one will be like 50 Cent, and another one will be like J.O. Felony or DJ Quick, and they were all in Revolucion, bro. So you had all these tourists coming from like LA and all these places, and we were just there mobbing, and me as a kid with all my homies like 13, 14, 15, just with a bunch of like fighting gringos or fighting like cholos or all this shit that try to act hard, but they're in our city, you know what I mean? So you just the locals, you know?
I remember the last time I was in Revolucion. It was a while back, bro. Because I always skip it and go to Ensenada.
Yeah.
But, man, I remember we were walking out of a club, me and my homie Brian, a high school friend of mine, and we were fucking drunk. And some stranger went up to us, was like, hey, bro, you guys need to find your car? And we're like, yeah, we don't know where we parked it. And he was like, all right, look, give me a couple bucks. I'll help you find your car. Just tell me what you remember when you parked. Within 30 minutes, bro, walking around the whole fucking city, we ended up finding the car because of the homie, and then we gave him like $100 or some shit, dude. That's
hell
bizarre,
yeah,
bro.
that's legit.
But I guess that's a hustle.
Well, there's all kinds of hustles, like, you know what I mean?
Let me find your car hustle.
Yeah, let me find your car, like all kinds of shit. You have people walking around with you, like, hey, if you don't want to walk around by yourself, like, have somebody like show you around and shit like that.
I think that city is all hustle, right?
Yeah,
like,
it's all hustle. I mean,
it's all hustle.
I read about the history, man. You go way back, like it's always been like that. It's always been like even criminals that from the United States, like Capone and them, would go to the Casino Caliente back in the day, and they would do the horse races and all that shit. And they were planning on setting like shit up down there and shit like that. So it's always been a city of fast life, as you call it. You know what I mean?
Nah, for sure. It's definitely one of those cities. Like, that's why I could see how easy the Chicano culture.
Yeah, and the LA movement just in general, just like
it's the only city where when you walk into a club, the prices change. If you know what I mean, dog.
Yeah,
when the white boys
yeah.
come in, they charge them a little more.
Yeah.
When the ladies come in, they're free. When they see Prime walk in, they want to rip them off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so I mean,
the water, the liquor's watered down too. I realized that, man.
So, yeah, it's especially the places where the tourists go.
Yeah,
especially those places, because if you go out there to more like local spots and shit like that, yeah, it's pretty normal.
Man,
especially where all the gringos go and all that stuff. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of hustle going on.
I remember we were eating in a restaurant in Tijuana during breakfast before we were heading down to the border, and the homie Scott, who raps with my brother Convoy, Profound, he ordered orange juice. They came back with Tampico.
Yeah. Oh, God. Yeah, because they were probably like, that's what they want.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Shout out to Tijuana.
They came with Tampico.
Yeah.
But that's that hood shit, too.
Yeah.
Man, I feel like we were always with
Scott,
Tampico.
being white, a Caucasian male, he was fucking tripping, bro.
Like, what the fuck is this syrup?
What the fuck is this? So I guess the manager made the waiter, like, run off to the store and get some OJ, dog.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Because the menu said OJ. Okay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, for them,
trying to pull a fucking fast one on us.
and in your lifetime, like, at what point did you see that boom of like the Chicano culture hit? Like, when did it change in your lifetime? Because you're from that era where like it changed, right? Like where not it changed, but like it got there very heavy at one point.
Yeah, because I believe Shadow dropped till I died like in '96 or something like that. But for me, it was like till probably like 2000, 99, 2000, somewhere around there where I got more into like Shadow and like older albums because they always were putting out albums. Like they got a bunch of albums. Yeah, mostly all the Chicano rappers, like even from, like Proper Dose and all these guys from up here.
Proper Dose,
Aztec Tribe and like all these guys. I used to be like a nerd like for music. You know what I mean? Like just go find and buy the music at the swap meets.
Did you stumble upon any Psycho Room over there? In
Mexico? All the time. Well, they worked with Border Brothers. Which
they did. It
was a label out there, and
his cousin, his Steve Dragon's cousin, right?
I think so.
One of them was one of them. I think the name is I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to say it.
Yeah, but they got some rappers from over there, so like the homie Action, Saludos a la Acción, El Carbón, Rest in Peace, like Tijuana Estilo. They work with a few guys that were from down there. But yeah, and then we got our version of like the kind of like Tijuana Chicano movement with Cartel de las Calles. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but the KDC, they're very big down there, like because they were the TJ version of like Chicano music, but they were from TJ.
Bro, my father will never go back to Mexico, bro. He's like American flag, fucking Joe Biden all day.
Joe Biden is crazy.
Like he has Joe Biden in his fucking refrigerator.
I mean, to be honest, when I see
he loves this country, bro. Like I don't know.
I
get
it. I seen what's that podcast that it's also like American Cholo.
American Cholo, yeah.
I mean, I don't judge the Mexicans that are like that because I mean Mexico has a lot of fucked up shit. Like I've lived a lot of fucked up shit where I'm like, bro, I understand if you you know what I mean.
Yeah,
I understand this
a lot of trauma.
Yeah, but at the same time, like that's my hometown. Like that's my home. Like I'm from there. Like I can't I mean, I'm literally half and half, bro. Like I went to school in the morning in San Diego, and
that's crazy.
I was in Mexico.
Hey, and how was that crossing? What time would you wake up to make that?
I mean, sometimes it was rough because my mom would have to be at work like at 6 a.m. So we would have to cross like around 5. Sometimes she would drop me off. There's a McDonald's right when you cross.
Yeah.
So she would drop me off right there, and I have to like take a nap or something till it was like 6, till the trolley was ready to go to school. So it was time for me to go to school, basically.
That's real right there.
But I had to I had to cross with her. She would wake up like at 3 a.m. We had the border. Like shit got crazy after 9/11. I remember like the whole news thing and stuff. We would be making like 5 hours long like lanes and shit. Yeah, I'd be late to school, like all kinds of shit. Like that's how you knew all the kids that lived in TJ, but you couldn't say that back in the day because they'll kick you out of school. So like they were all like being late and shit because they were all in the border. You know what I mean? They were all stuck in the border.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean.
So in your high school, you were not the only one. I mean, in your school.
In San Diego, bro.
Oh, it's very common, I guess.
Yeah, it's a big community of people that just come and like even like when you work, there's people that work in San Diego and live in Mexico. Now more just for the rent.
Yeah,
like now, not even white people going now.
I just met some white and Indian couple.
Yeah,
they were living in Mexico and working.
Yeah, and back then, like it's always been like a really big community that does that. So yeah, I mean, yeah, man, I had to fucking I think that's why it was easy for me to like drop off of school. Like I got like I didn't like the process of going to school. You know what I mean? Because I had to fucking wake up early and be there all sleepy and like go back to like I had to catch the bus and the trolley and then go to TJ and then catch another bus to downtown Tijuana and then from there get a taxi to my house. So it was like. You know what I mean? You could.
Damn.
Yeah, it's a whole journey, and not even. I wasn't the only one. Bro.
And you were doing it from first grade all the way to graduation.
No, I went in kindergarten. I went to Chula Vista, and then my family was doing good because TJ life. So I went to private school because so I started going to private school for like first and second grade in TJ, and then when shit hit the fan and like some people went to jail. My mom was like, instead of going to like public school in Mexico, I'm just gonna send you to public school in San Diego. Might as well learn English and shit. So that's when, and I remember I didn't want to come over here to school. Like, I'm not even gonna say, but it was some like racial fucking what do you call it, stereotypes that I had back then. Like, I don't want to be like around other people and this and that, whatever. Because I was so like Mexican, But eventually, when I came over here to school, there was like, oh, there's a bunch of Mexicans. Like, you know what I mean? There's a bunch of people from TJ. They were like, bro. Even my teacher lived in TJ, bro. You know what I mean? So it was like, it was very familiar. Like, and then I went to private.
So that thought was before you got there?
Before I got there, yeah. It wasn't even like when I got there. Did
you go to ESL?
No. Oh, yeah. At first,
elementary school?
When I showed up to third grade, they're a little bit more advanced in Mexico. So they were like, he knows enough to go to fourth grade, but his English is not good. So my teacher recommended me to stay in third grade. So my mom was like, yeah, okay, that's cool. But I was always in like these advanced classes for the same reason, like the GATE program and all this shit, IB classes and shit like that. So yeah, I got here and I came from private school, so it was all nice, like all fresas and shit.
Yeah.
And when I came over here, it was like, hey, vete a la verga. And all this shit.
It was like that. And how was were you accepted amongst like the Chicanos on the Mexican Americans? How was that mesh? Was it natural?
Well, the thing is,
because you were not the only, you were kind of like a common thing.
Yeah, but the line's not that divided in San Diego. Like you don't get like paisas and Chicanos. Like they're all like semi-paisa and semi-Chicano. Yeah. You know what I mean? Just because of the proximity they have with the border. So I mean, I was good in soccer and I was smart and I read fast. So like I was a good reader. So I mean, I just I just started hanging out with friends and shit like that. It was pretty fast, to be honest. I didn't have a problem fitting in.
Okay.
Except the English a little bit.
And all the way to graduating and all that, you graduated and everything?
Nah, I got kicked out in 11th grade. After
thugging it.
Yeah,
it was Mr. Shadow's music.
Yeah, I'm so excited and all the fucking classics, bro. All this shit. Yeah, no, I mean, I was ditching by that time. Like, I was already doing time in TJ. They would lock you up for nights. Like, if you were a minor and be out there walking the streets at night, they just needed to file paperwork shit. They would just go out and do sweeps. So, by high school, I was already, like, spending nights in juvie out there and shit like that.
Shit.
And life out here was, like, slower in that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It wasn't really like that. Like, I was already, like, I said, like, a revolucion. Like, I'd be at Revolucion partying or just mobbing the streets like at 4 or 5 in the morning. Like, and the line to cross to the border would reach all the way to Revolucion. So I would literally just wait for my aunt to go be at the height of Revolucion. And I'd be like, ya estoy aquí. Okay, so I'll just go straight from fucking being out there in the streets all night to sleep a few hours in the border and then just go to school. You know what I mean? So I was like, I was really like out there. So after 10th grade, I was doing really bad with my grades, and they didn't kick me out because I was in like IB classes or shit.
Yeah.
Some shit. So when I went to 11th grade, I asked them to like take me off and be like in regular classes because my thought was like, okay, this might be easier and I might be able to catch up. But fuck that, they fucking kicked me out at like a month. Like as soon as the year started, a month after they kicked me out and they sent me to the learning center, which is just like 2 hours and like independent study and shit. And that shit just got me depressed, bro. I remember after I was like, fuck this. Like, I don't want to, you know what I mean? Like, I was always like the smart classes and shit like that. And I didn't want to be that. So that's when I dropped out. And yeah, I mean, shit went left.
And around that time, who were you bumping musically?
Oh, that's definitely that time.
That's like 10, 11th grade.
11th grade, 10th grade, that was 2006.
Probably 50 Cent,
2006.
maybe?
Definitely The Game and 50
The
Cent
Game,
and G-Unit and all that stuff. Because The Game, when he popped out, he was like
he was the guy.
Like West Coast was a little like quiet before he came
right.
out. So when he came out, it was like crazy, like West Side Story and all that stuff.
Wait, nah. Saying it's exactly the same for me too. Like
that was crazy. And a lot of corridos.
Yeah.
By then, the corridos.
And the corridos back at that point, who was hitting at that point? Do you remember?
Well, a lot of Chalino, a lot of El Original de la Sierra, a lot of Los Canelos, a lot of
Los
Tucanes.
I'm trying to see like from your perspective, who were you bumping corrido with?
Yeah, I mean in Tijuana, Explosión Norteña, like you had to, like everybody was, and they're like cousins to Los Tucanes.
Yeah.
So I mean, you had to be in Tijuana's Explosión Norteña mandatory. If you want to look, I mean, even Regulo Caro, I don't know you guys familiar with Regulo Caro. They asked him about They asked him about like, hey, you're the pioneers of like the corridos, like bélicos, or like, you know, corridos like very gangsterish. And he's like, but to be honest, I got it from Explosión Norteña. Like if you go back, those are the pioneers. So he actually gave him a shout out on that one. He was a real for that one.
Oh shit! So shout out to the homie.
And I mean, the music speaks what the streets is. You know, is going on. So Tijuana's always been violent. So the music, it shows in the music. You know what I mean? So that's how like all that type of corridos, like the aggressive corridos. I think it came from Tijuana. Like the music speaks what the streets is happening. You know?
Yeah, and talking about corridos, like what do you feel about the new wave of corridos?
What do you mean, like
in the last 5 years? Let's say the last 5 years. How do you see it in your perspective? How do you see it? The good, the bad, the ugly. What do you see about it? How do you feel?
I mean, I mean, at the big picture, it's cool, man. I mean, I'm fucking excited of what Peso Pluma's doing and Nata and all them guys because now it's mainstream. You know, I come from the era where like I heard some people out here in LA say that it used to te daban carrilla if you go corridos. Type shit, But over there in San Diego, like we've always been next to the paisanes. Like I said, we're always like half and half. So corridos were always accepted, you know? So there's always like paisa parties and all kinds of shit. Like, and being next to the border, everybody would party over there and have like norteño music and shit like that. So, but it was still like very niche, you know? Like, not, like even like the Fresas girls, they would only bump it like after 2 a.m. or something when they're drunk. Like they weren't even drunk,
it was like the ghetto music.
It wasn't even like it was like poor people music. Let's be honest. To be honest, you know what I mean. It was very classist.
It was the low frequency music.
And then so like eventually like people started like I mean it happened in hip hop too. So I think it crossed over to like the jewelry and the fanciness and all that
of
shit.
course,
like,
for sure.
That goes commercial. Like it's instant. It's like instant food, you know. So that started happening with the corridos. Like they saw like, oh, narcos have a lot of money. Oh, and they're talking about them. Oh, they got Lamborghini. Oh, they got that. So people started like ignoring the criminality, ignoring it was the rancho, música de rancho. Like they ignored that because of the luxuries that it was coming with them, you know? So the fact that these kids, like my friend being about to Codiciado.
Who today commented on the post. And that's a big artist coming up.
Yeah, hell yeah. He's doing it big right now with his comeback to USA.
He just sold out the crypto, right?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, he did sell out the crypto, man.
Shout out to Codiciado, he did like 5 sodas in like Arizona and different places. So yeah, I mean, and I tapped him in with the culture, like with what happened with hip hop, like the revolution and all this stuff. And I told him, like, this is eventually going to happen with the corridos because it's street music, you know? Like, that's our street music. There's rap in Mexico, too. There's Mexican rappers.
And even that Mexican rap in Mexico is...
They be putting in the work, bro. Yeah.
It's bigger than it's ever been in the U.S.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, the U.S., we've never hit a
Mexican,
like, there's been a couple that kind of...
Yeah, kind
but
of.
But Mexico, like, these fools took it to the Disney, to Marvel.
Exactly.
Shout out to Heads.mx. That's the brother of mine that runs a hip-hop page out there. But look, in Mexico, these kids growing up, they don't even need American influences anymore.
I talked about that with Mr. Little One because, like, I mean, when I was young, I had to reference either Biggie, Dr. Dre, Snoop, and all these guys. But if I'm a kid in 2018, like, I don't need to listen to those guys, especially if I don't speak their language. You know what I mean? Like, why? I got Cartel de Santa, I got Santa Fe Clan, I got Alemán.
We're doing major numbers, fool.
Yeah. And
Asesino.
Yeah, Asesino, all this battle rappers doing it.
Batallas de los Gallos. Shout out to Red Bull, man.
Yeah, exactly, man. I mean, now you don't have to go out of the culture to, I mean, but it's cool to know where shit starts, you know what I mean? I think it's cool to know, like, the history of the stuff that whatever you're involved in, whatever you like, and you know you share interests, you should be involved in like where it comes from and all this shit. Just because I don't know, you get to learn more from it and see if that's really what you like, you know?
Yeah, and I think it's beautiful, dog, to see how Mexico hip hop is just taking over, even in the U.S. where they're getting recognition from big artists.
And I mean, clicking up with like, I mean, you see Peso Pluma, he raps, he does dembow, he does all this stuff, so. I mean, and he's a Mexican artist.
Oh, and he's one of the biggest artists in the world.
Yeah.
Not just in corrido world. Nah, this fool has a song with Cardi B.
Yeah,
right now.
yeah. Nah, he's definitely out there. He's worldwide.
This dude, and you know, man, like I said, I don't hate. I know people do hate on things like that, but I'm like, bro, we need to hit every market.
Yeah. I mean,
every market.
This is what the thing needed, because now if you like Peso Pluma, you ask yourself like, okay, but what's this genre about? So you go back. And that's when you go to Los Tucanes, and that's when you go back to Los Canelos.
And look, and it's funny that you say that, fool, because recently, like, even like podcasters like Back on Fig, they got into corrido world through Peso Pluma, but now they're bumping La Chona in their podcast, fool. Yeah. You're right. So that thing about Tucanes, that's correct.
Yeah, I mean, you saw it with the Kendrick and Drake beef. Like, people started bumping Kendrick's old music and stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean,
shout out to Kendrick once again.
Yeah, that's what happens when somebody like does like a breakthrough for like, the culture, even if it's something like. I mean, I'm not a big Tumbado fan. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not a big Tumbado fan, but I like some songs and stuff. But I like what they did, like, as a worldwide. They're just a branch of this big culture. You know what I mean?
So Tumbado, that's like kind of like drunk.
No, the thing is, they use lower tones.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, so usually like the norteño music and stuff, they had like a way to do it. It's not really like, it's just they just started like using lower tones, I think, and
that's the Tololoche thing.
And plus their lyrics are very like saddish, like Junior H is very much like
it's very melodic. It's melodic.
So they
to me, fool, Junior H, he's the Travis Scott on the corrido world. Some shit.
Or like the Extentacion type stuff. You know what I mean? Like with the
who's the Kendrick or the Drake of Mexico? Is it Santa Fe Clan?
Oh, in rap,
or corridos.
I doubt it, right?
And rap or corridos.
Rap,
yeah.
It can't be Santa Fe Clan.
Nah, he's not. Nah, I don't think the Drake.
Yeah, like who's the big shot over there?
I mean, I wouldn't call Drake the big shot, but who's the big shot in
Mexico? Like compared to them.
Well, definitely Alemán, Jera, and Santa Fe.
And
those three are definitely sitting on top with whoever.
That's what I meant.
And those three, who's the number one?
Well, there's a good combo because they all got their own lanes. Like Alemán, he has the visuals, he has the culture. He's very nurtured in the hip hop culture too. He'll reference like Wu-Tang and his, you know, all that.
I see it. Yeah.
And but to be honest, Jera got the bars.
Yeah.
Jera has the bars. He doesn't reference a lot of the culture and shit like that. He does like Psycho Realm and shit like that.
Yeah.
But his bars, like, I mean, his beats are not so commercial as in Alemán. He's like very commercial with his beats, but he's still dope. Like, his bars are still dope. But I think Jera can take the bars, but the visuals and all the other like aesthetic and all that shit, I think Alemán takes it.
And Santa Fe Clan has like the most.
He's the hood, bro. Like, he grew up in like
Santa Fe.
Yeah, he grew up in like
and he's more of the to me.
I don't think he has bars at all. Like, I don't think he has.
I think he's more style. To me, he's more style.
Yeah, and he's just really like he's just really a kid. Like, if you go to a hood in Mexico and you go to La Tiendita on the street to buy the soda,
and he's more relatable,
he's going to be one of the three kids out standing outside just fucking, you know.
And I think he's more relatable that way. Visually,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, so that's what I'm saying. Like, that's one of the kids that you see around in the streets and shit. So I think that helps him. Cause he's really cool. He's really cool.
So those are Mexican nationals.
Yeah.
You feel that are the top.
Yeah.
Of the top.
Alemán is from Los Cabos. Jera is from San Luis Potosí.
Órale.
But he kind of grew up in Monterrey too. And Santa Fe is from León, Guanajuato. I met him all three of them. They're cool as fuck.
So let's get into this. I would assume, I know he's not a Mexican national. I would assume I think from what I heard, he's from Puerto Rico or some shit.
Who?
Bad Bunny.
Oh yeah, he's
So
from Puerto
I
Rico.
would think he's like the top of the fucking top over there, the food chain over there in Mexico, bro. All the women, all the fucking.
Well, he had it
colombianos,
for a
like
while.
that shit.
He had it, but Peso Pluma knocked his ass out from there.
Well, he had a
Shout out
crazy.
to
He had
Peso Pluma.
Yeah, Peso Pluma has it right now. Yeah,
Peso Pluma knocked everybody out of that fucking.
He did,
bro.
fool.
Like
He
everybody
did.
was bumping reggaeton till
Shout out
Peso
to
Pluma came
Brahim
out,
too.
bro.
Shout out to
Yeah,
Brahim.
shout out
Shout out to
them, bro.
George.
They've been doing big things.
Shout out
for
to
the culture,
George.
man.
Shout out to George.
I mean,
Shout out
what-
to Cricket and all them fools over
You
there.
guys saw the presentation in Coachella?
Yeah.
Peso
Fuck,
Pluma,
fool.
bro.
Yeah.
Like that shit gave me chills.
I saw
man.
that.
Nah,
Like,
fool.
he
It was
paid
great.
respects to all the real ones. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like that's why he's.
I love that fool.
That's why he's the one, bro.
I
You know what I
love.
mean?
Look how I look at it. Like they're planting the flag in the moon. for
Yeah,
us.
and he's not saying
Bam.
like other kids did it before. Like, oh, I'm doing it. He's like, nah, this is all the people have been doing. Like, I'm just carrying the flag from here on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 'cause
that's
fucking,
that's
'cause-
what I respect about him.
Because Natael was the one that kind of this.
Yeah, he
like,
was like,
the
but I
one
mean,
that-
it always happens in new generations.
Yeah, of
it's always
course.
gonna be news against because the old heads will always have some.
And
shit to
they're
say,
always kinda
and-
like-
and the new guys are gonna
Yeah.
take it personal. So
Well,
I mean,
the old heads have a way of like compliment you but slapping you in the face.
because they've been there, they know what's gonna hurt, bro. Like they it happened to them. Like you know what I
Yep.
mean? Like they know what's gonna hurt, so they know how to say it. But at the same time, if they're taking the time to say it, like it means something. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
for
it
sure.
means that they want the culture to go a certain way, even if it's for good or bad. You know, it's part of the whole thing. Like,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, when I met Peso Pluma at Santa Fe Clan's party like 2 years ago.
Sick.
It was right before he was like his first song was banging, but he still wasn't there. I remember because.
And Luis Conriquez was the one that kind of ushered him in, no? Kind of seemed like that.
Yeah, with
Like
that
that
one
collab,
song.
right?
Yeah,
Like, hey.
with the Belicon song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He kind of ushered him in, and they had like back-to-back hits and shit.
Yeah. But I think Peso Pluma had like he was coming with it.
Yeah,
you know
like,
what I mean?
he had already like a couple.
That's why they
records.
embraced him. You know, that's why
Yeah.
everybody was like, yeah, let's go, let's do it.
And from my opinion, from over here, from my view, because at that point, el número uno era Luis Conriquez, güey. Que
Yeah.
si en el ruedo así, whatever, metí the song.
Yeah, I have mixed feelings with the homie because he's cool as fuck and I like what he's doing with his music. He gave opportunities to like Peso Pluma, Tony Aguirre, which is my friend, and
Yeah.
he recorded music from him. But I don't know, man. Like every time he hangs out with a singer, he does it their style. You know what I mean? Like he did the Peso Pluma, and then he did the Tony Aguirre with El Boo and all that.
Oh, okay.
And then
Okay.
now he's doing the Tito Doble P, like the yelling and all that
Yeah,
stuff. So
yeah,
you know what I
yeah,
mean? So
yeah,
like,
yeah.
it's good. It's work for him, you know. But
Yeah.
but I think you know what I mean.
It's
Like
kind of like almost like Drake. Drake in it.
Yes,
Drake
bro.
in it.
Exactly. Like I not like him because he is a real one. Like he is from Sonora. Like he was like struggling and he
And I
puts it
think
down.
he's carrying the classic sound, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And also the classic look.
yeah, and then
Like he still has that like
Yeah,
of
the
that
sombrero
red
and-
story,
yeah. Yeah.
Like obviously the rest of the food are more swagged out. They're way more hip hop. They're way more like luxurious looking.
Yeah.
And Luis still se mira ranchero el güey.
he likes that ranchero style.
Like,
yeah.
And you know what? He's kind of holding the flag for that, and doing it in well, he has hits. You know, that's
Yeah,
kind
he
of where
does.
he
He
does have
definitely
hits,
does.
yeah.
And I'm not like what I was saying. I'm not trying to put him down or nothing, but I think that works for him. Like, for instance, some of the songs that he has as hits are compositions of like Tony Aguirre.
Órale,
But
okay.
Tony Aguirre wasn't popping, bro. Like Tony Aguirre has songs for years. Like every
Yeah.
time I seen that guy, he shows me like 10 new songs, but he wasn't popping till like Luis R and people like them started recording their songs. So you can't really say like, oh, he took his style, whatever, because it was just the combination of both of the
Yeah.
guys' work. You know what I mean?
And even in that world, is common for people to write for each other.
Oh, that's that's
like
super normal. Yeah,
it's
that's
normal,
not like rap. No,
like rap.
definitely not.
They'll
Plus,
fucking
it's
hang
normal
you
for
and
people
shit.
to sing like other people's songs. Like
Yeah,
if
for sure.
Tucanes has a hit, like another group might sing it in a concert. You know, just
Yeah.
because they show respect and like stuff like that. And yeah, it has a lot to do. Like the way I relate it to rap because it's connected to the street politics too. You know what I mean? Like some people can't sing to certain people, you know, because they're friends with some people or they stay on one side of the city or stuff like that. So yeah, it's very tapped in with all that shit.
And
so.
I even like the corrido merging with hip hop también, güey. Like later on we're gonna talk about that. Some record just came out.
Yeah, I mean, shout out to the guys from like Tamaulipas and all the guys because back from 2013 and them, they started doing the rap corridos. Like they were rapping, but they were talking about like wars and cartel and shit like that. And I have a rap corrido, one of them guys from back in 2013 that made it, MC Window. He's actually doing really big right now with the cumbias, with Yair Salivar and them. He's one of them. So I've been knowing him from like 10 years ago and now seeing him how he's fucking doing it. I'm like, fuck yeah, bro. I see him at fucking private jets now. He just got signed and shit. I'm like, oh, fuck yeah, man.
Yeah,
You know what I
porque
mean?
Wow.
And in LA, güey, in LA where the rap and corrido thing didn't mix, the first person that to like put it in the records, it was Conejo. When he did the Antichrist mixtape, he was the first fool to put like corridos, like samples, like intros to like in LA, like as an LA rapper.
Yeah,
because you know how they were very Chicano over here, right?
Yeah.
And then everybody was kind of like, oh, you up? That's paisa, that's paisa.
Yeah.
Conejo was as a hardcore fool, like he put it on his intros and his interludes. Like Chalino and all of that before Kingdom G did it, before everybody else.
Yeah,
Because you know, when it
that's what I was telling you, like Psycho Realm. That, I mean, if going as far as I can remember, Psycho Realm with Los Razos.
Yeah.
And it's actually a cool song. That's a fire song.
That's a fire song.
Yeah, and just the mix of like the little accordion and the rapping going back and forth.
And it wasn't like a four. It didn't sound forced.
No, it didn't.
It just sounded like Razos doing the Razos.
Yeah.
And Jackin doing what he does.
Yeah, he wasn't trying to do corridos
like,
and the Razos
yeah,
weren't trying to rap.
It wasn't like where it was like a weird like mesh. They both were in their lane, but they made it happen. Yeah.
And then Aquid, you can't leave out Aquid.
Oh yeah, no, Aquid. Isn't that what you know who Cricket is? Cricket. One of the producers.
I think so, yeah.
También.
Oh, yeah, because that's El Original de la Sierra.
Yeah. So that's the way he was a producer for all the Aquid, all that movement.
Oh, that's dope,
Banda, hip hop. Yeah, so that full fucking
and
Cricket.
then, like I said, the first like rap corrido, like as it is, I think is Shadow with Mr. Shadow. He has a rap corrido for a famous.
Shout out to Mr. Shadow. He's an icon in the Chicano rap game, bro.
Yeah,
he's definitely
in TJ, bro. We had this blogs of music blogs.
Yeah.
Where like I mean, in TJ is very common if there's a, let's say, a cartel party.
Yeah.
And there's a norteño playing, you record the whole session of that party because. Like either they're gonna play some unedited, unreleased corridos or corridos that are prohibited to be like commercial, and and the shoutouts, especially if it's like a party and there's like big hits there. So those audios will be like trading cards in the blogs. We'll be like, hey, what corrido? Oh, tengo el corrido nuevo, like from a fulan or this and that. Oh, I got this one, but it shouts out like the head, the boss or whatever. So they would be like trading cards, bro. So
that's crazy.
So
there were blogs?
Yeah, there were blogs. Let's go narcocorridos.org and like shit like that. So MP3 Sinaloa.org. Shout out to Servando, which now his one of his biggest channels right now. And so all of a sudden, this song popped out, Mr. Shadow, El Cholo, El 5-5, whatever. I was like, what the fuck? Like I seen it in the blog and people were like back then you had to share it through like CDs and shit.
Yeah, for sure.
So when I saw that and I played it, I was like, oh no way, he's singing to the Cartel boss. Because I was a fan of like my both worlds crossed, you know what I mean? Like corridos and Chicano rap. So I was like, no way, bro. So when I heard it, and he was rapping in Spanish and singing some belicadas, like he was singing some. And then he told me the story of like how that shit came out. I was like, fuck, man. But that was the first rap corrido like ever that I heard. Shout out to Mr. Shadow. Chicano rap. Yeah.
Definitely a legend. Definitely a one of one. Definitely a pioneer. Definitely one of the early like
lyricists too.
And also one of the early ones that you proudly bump.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Like it wasn't like to me.
He never did some late shit.
To me, his sound wasn't Chicano. Like it was just rap.
It was hip hop. Yeah,
it was just rap. Yeah. It was just hip hop shit.
But you know, it's very interesting for me to hear that when you're saying some artists talk to the cartel or make music for the cartel or about the cartel.
Allegedly.
Yeah. I just think that's surreal, bro.
Allegedly.
Like,
what do you mean allegedly?
That shit doesn't exist in America, in the United States, bro. Like, people have it so easy out here, bro. Over there, you just have to, it just depends on who you talk to, who you run with.
Yeah, you know what?
Right? Like,
cartel people are really fans of music, bro.
Nah,
they're really fans.
Real,
I mean,
they're fans.
It's not really like some people might do it for like their ego, like wanting a song about them. But to be honest, there'll be like us chilling. Like most of the like get-togethers and parties, it's either like it's me and you, like you're a cartel boss, and I'm just your homie, and we're drinking, and we got a norteño right here, like a guitar and a accordion, not even the whole sound, and we're just like bumping rancheras, like love songs or corridos or stuff like that. Even bumping like their op songs, you know what I mean? If they got good corridos, they'll bump it just because it's cool. They love the music, and that's when it starts getting like, hey, how much you charge for a corrido? We're like, oh, I'll charge whatever. I charge $1,000. Here's 20. Hey, what? You guys need a van? You guys need new sound? You guys need a new fucking guitar and shit like that? They'll like they want to help you. You know what I mean?
And these are guys that are affiliated.
New tour bus.
And right prime.
Yeah.
No,
and some people might get down to the writing too.
But these are people that you're familiar and you're aware that they run with enterprises like the cartels. It's multi-billion-dollar, hundreds of $1 million.
Yeah, well, I mean, might be two guys chilling, but there'll be a room full of fucking military-looking guys, like right outside the door, like guarding that guy. You know what I mean? So the guys have to be playing there. And I mean,
imagine that shit going down out here in the
risky,
U.S.
Man.
Imagine.
Really well, I mean, you don't have that type of violence out here, I think. So it's really hard for
the white man fucking controls shit out here, huh, Brian?
Shout out to the white man.
But I mean, it's good and bad, you know, pros and cons. That's everything, I think. But I mean, that's where it divides too, where like the corridos were to the LA norteños, where it's like, okay, you're singing about these guys, but are you actually like going to their parties? Or are you just from singing them from out here from America, just what you hear on the newspaper and stuff? So that's when like it kind of goes like with the rap, you know, with the rappers where like suburban rappers try to pretend they're hood.
Yeah.
I think it's the same thing over here, where it's like all these groups from Mexico, like they have to fucking hustle and play in front of like all these guys, like sometimes be pointing at them the guns because they're all drunk and high and they're just fucking going up. So
yeah,
like,
I definitely heard some stories
they
about
go
big
through all
artists
this shit and then some people some groups that come from over here, they just sing about it, but they don't really go to Mexico because they know shit goes down out there. That's when shit divides and, you know, it might create a little difference. Yeah, a little difference where it's like, why are these guys like TQM, what the fuck is that? You know what I mean? So like a Cartel must be like, what the fuck? Like, you know what I mean? Because the new music is cool. It's for the new generation of narcos, but like the old hits and shit like that, they don't really listen to like tumbados. And
They don't.
Not really, man. Nah, they're more into the old school and shit. Like, it's very much for the new generations, you know, for the kids.
Yeah.
Know? So yeah, man. I mean, it's a whole big culture that.
And what's your relationship with Codiciado? Because he's a major artist out here. I know he did the crypto, but I've seen you. I see you at the crypto, right?
The Peacock, the Peacock.
Oh, the Peacock, yeah. I've seen you there, and like, what's your relationship with him, and how did you end up working with him, or even being around him like that?
I don't know. It's funny.
He shows you a lot of love. I see that.
Yeah, that's like my brother. Yeah. So I was just coming off of a bad like stage in my life, like some depression and some deaths and shit like that, and I was trying to turn my life. Well, some friends died. I actually have them tattooed in my fingers, and I was looking for. I've always been into writing and shit like that, but I was trying to do some music. So I was selling weed out there, and I was saying to mostly all the artists, like and norteños and all this, that they would come and buy me. So I started inviting them, hey, you want to come smoke in the house? Bring your guitar or whatever. So I started like, hey, I want to write some corridos for my homies, you know, and shit like that. And I just started getting like more into like the music and the movement over here because the music community in TJ is very like everybody knows each other, like the norteños and all of them. Mm-hmm. They'll work with each other. Like, hey, if my Bajo Quinto can't play today, call that guy, and like, you know, somebody's already they work together. So I started getting into that, and I remember I had a friend, and a really good friend, Elliot. He managed one of the blogs that I was telling you, the Narco Corridos blogs, and he was like, "Hey, bro, I got this homie which is just as fucking crazy as you, like, and I'm pretty sure you guys are gonna get along." And he got me in a group chat with the homie Codiciado, and we're just like, "What's up, bro? What's up?" And that was it. And then like the next day he was like, hey, what's up? Let's smoke. When you got time, come to the studio, smoke. I was like, I'll roll through today. And I went and we smoked. And from then on, we just been kicking every day. Been like, we just fucking same ideas. And like, we both had like dreams of fucking doing big shit and stuff like that. So.
And there's dispensaries now right there in Mexico, no?
Allegedly
that the cartels run, from what I heard.
Yeah, but it depends. Like, and
God forbid, Prime, if you and me go to Mexico and open up a dispensary, I don't even think we'll be allowed to do that shit.
Oh, no, hell no, you won't do it.
Nah, especially in TJ, like you have to go like more country. Sure. Like in La Ruana, you probably be able to do some shit like that.
Serious?
Stuff like that. But in Tijuana, it's
very. Oh fuck no.
In Tijuana, it's very fast city. Like there's a lot of shit going on. It's like
it belongs to
cops
something,
and shit like that. Like there's a lot. Yeah, it's. I mean, you could do it, but it's gonna be kind of hard to maintain it.
Yo, Prime, scoot your big bald head ass a little bit to the right, dog. Let's get the homie a little bit more a body angle.
Hey, can I smoke with you?
Oh, bro, I didn't even know you smoke, bro. Here it goes, bro.
I've been waiting for you.
No, bro. no. You see, I don't like to disrespect cats and pass, bro.
Yeah.
You have to be like, you have to be very vocal.
Now, on the contrary, I always passing it. Even they have to tell me, like, even with friends that don't smoke, sometimes I'm just smoking by myself and I do this, and they're like, nah, bro. Like, oh shit, I forgot.
There it is.
I'm always trying to pass it to the right. But yeah, I mean, eventually.
Now I got a smoking buddy right here on the podcast.
Yeah.
Shout out to the homies.
So with Codiciado, we just became really good friends. We shared a lot of ideas and shit like that, and we just had a dream basically.
Let's take it back to the origins of your podcast, though. You know what I'm saying? When was episode 1? How did that come about? Like, what was the inspiration? What was the ideas going through your head? Like, look, dude, I'm a fucking.
Well, the idea was already there.
I'm gonna do this.
The idea was already there since like.
And also the courage way of being in.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
Camera.
That's the last thing that came about because
the courage.
I was always like, to be honest, I was always still like in the streets.
Yeah.
So if you grow up with people from the streets, we don't really like to be in the camera.
Yeah,
you know
and we're socially awkward.
Yeah. So
people
that
from
shit,
our street are socially awkward.
Yeah, so that was never my thing. Like when I first got the idea of doing a podcast, I got a couple friends that were more like extroverts. So I was like, hey, I'll produce this podcast, but you be the one, and like I'll give you my contacts, like my friends, they'll be down to do it, whatever. But everybody like. And nobody knew about podcasts, so I had to take them to my house and show them Drink Champs. There's no like every time I show them, like I try to fucking get a host, I'll play some Drink Champs. I'll be like, it's gonna be something like this, but in Mexican shit, you know what I mean, and more variable and shit like that. So everybody was like, nah, bro, this is your show. Like they all told me that. They're like, nah, this is your thing, because the guy I'm interviewing, that's your homie. You know what I mean? Like you have that approach this with all these famous guys and shit like that. Like it's like
you have that love for what you want to produce.
They fuck with me, you know, and they fuck with me too. They know I'm a real one. So like eventually, like I was like, you know what, man, fuck this, you know. So I just I already knew people with cameras and stuff. So I didn't really know what I needed, bro. I asked a few guys. I was like, hey, what do I need for a podcast?
So the equipment you used for episode 1, is it still the same equipment you use now, or do you upgrade?
Nah, it was my friends. It was
there. It is.
He would invite me. He would let me use. Like he charged me. He rented. But then I moved out to San Diego.
And let that be a message to everybody for that always put up excuses of why they can't do shit.
Yeah, do it as soon as you
rent the fucking studio, right?
The first time you get that idea, you dig 100%. Do it, bro. Because if I would have started doing the podcast since 2017 when I wanted to, I would have been the pioneer in the podcast in Mexico. But I waited till still somebody else do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and they got big. Now they're one of the biggest. Like the guys that I had the idea before, that I was like, fuck, man, you know, they're big. But it's okay. We out here too, you know.
We out here too.
Yeah.
Shout out, make sure you guys tune into El Bordo podcast, man. The homie definitely doing it up, and he's culture, he's hip hop, so it has a really cool aesthetic to it, and even your energy is in there dope.
So
bro.
for viewers watching that's never subscribed, never been on your podcast, what are they gonna see when they go on to the YouTube page?
You're going to see a lot of corridos, norteños, like just sharing backstories, because I have backstories with them and some of the big guys that they sing corridos about.
Yeah.
So we have this talks of like, hey, remember that one party where so-and-so was there and like this and that. And we share those type of intimate like stories that, I mean, obviously I talk about people that are that is not going to affect, you know, that are not alive anymore or that are not in the game anymore, stuff like that. And they're still amazing. So I pick stories like that where nobody's going to get hurt and like I'm not snitching or nobody.
So you're not the type of YouTuber that's covering nothing but fucking cartel drama and then fucking...
No, I don't like... I'm not a reporter.
Right?
I'm not.
Murders, killings, gang members.
I'm a storyteller. I describe myself more of a storyteller.
There's a lot of those YouTubers in Mexico,
yeah,
right?
I mean, if I told some of the... You know, like I'd be having those clips too, but... I want to do it like my way, you know.
So it's safe to say you've been in very crazy privadas.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah,
I've been like.
And if you know, you know.
Yeah. Like some of you guys, some of the corridos that's been popping now. I smoke weed with some of them guys. I've been at the party with some guys. Some of the guys I could call my friends, like, and not even because I'm some like street shit. Like I was telling you, like some of these guys are known from like when we were taggers. You know, we were graffiti.
There was hip hop. The homie is hip hop.
Yeah, there was a whole stage in TJ where everybody was a tagger, everybody was graffiti and shit. And I do pieces, I do murals and shit. I wasn't really like tagging. I was doing murals and legals and illegals. And I would get excited when my homies would, like, the older homies would drive me up to LA to tag and shit, because we'd be getting chased out here by helicopters and shit like that. It was just like movie type shit, you know, bombing freeways and shit. But we did that in TJ. But eventually shit started changing around 2006, 2007. Like all the guys that were like graffiti and taggers started growing out of it, and they were just making money. Like you see them like now in the convoys and like dressed as cops, and they wearing cops, and you know, or selling shit, whatever. Or you just knew they were part of something. You know?
I love how you mentioned graffiti and tagging, because all that bullshit hip hop that Prime listens to.
Oh my
these fucking kids have no idea what graffiti is, bro.
Nah, bro, graffiti is
big
in Asia, bro.
But in Mexico,
if you study the graffiti in Mexico, it started in TJ,
they respect the 4 elements of hip hop. You know what I'm saying?
Which is street culture, number 1. So shut the fuck up.
Okay. Prime, do you know what?
I need some gunshots.
I got the lighter.
Prime, do you know the 4 elements of hip hop?
I know. Okay, let me.
Oh my
Because I
God!
know-
I'm about
I
to
think
fucking
I know.
walk off this
I think I
podcast.
know.
Let
I'm
me
about to
guess.
walk off this
Let me
podcast if
guess.
you don't know
Okay.
the 4 elements of hip
The
hop.
only thing I haven't done from what those elements is DJing. I never. Well, I kind of was learning when I was young. But
Let me guess them. Okay, the first would be street culture,
No,
and if it has to be street culture, DJ,
DJing,
MC,
MCing.
and then production.
No, bro.
Producer?
Okay, let me enlighten you.
Yeah,
I'm sure the homie knows right here. You know what I'm saying? Because he's a real hip hop head, dog.
unlike
The homie
me.
right here. El Bordo's a real hip hop head. It's DJing, MCing, b-boying, and graffiti.
yeah,
Graffiti.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out
So
to
yeah,
that.
I mean, graffiti was.
And it seems to
big,
me the
man.
majority of hip hop fans, kids over there, they fuck with all the elements.
They do.
Well,
They do.
We used to have events at this,
I'm just
at this
really-
underground place called Los Cuatro Elementos.
Yeah.
And it was DJing and it was battle rapping and it was me like playing battle, like battling with other
Like
taggers.
I
and
feel
shit
like I
that.
feel like Mexico's going through like this boom bap era, huh? Like it feels.
It kind of started back in 2018 with.
Like,
I mean,
right?
Headers really boom bap, bro.
It's not that it's going into
It
a
is.
boom bap. It's
Well,
just kids
it's
appreciate.
like-
No.
Well, it's like they're
You
like
gotta twist it, Prime.
They're like a generation behind where they are appreciating raps.
They
Yeah.
appreciate bars. They
Because
appreciate
even
lyricism.
when I've been to Mexico City, way I went to one of the monumentos, and there was like crowds of circles of fools freestyling each other
Yeah.
way.
But that's been
Off the
that,
top,
to be
too,
honest, that's
like,
been going on for a while.
Young
man.
ass fools, way like just like tearing
Yeah.
each other up. I'm like, damn.
I mean, if you've heard Danny Flow,
Yeah.
he came out from those
Yeah.
battles, from those same battles,
Yeah.
bro. Like, and he doesn't have bars and shit like that, but he was a freestyle. He came from like freestyle, like battle rapping and shit like
Yeah.
that. But he's always trying to do like a funny shit, you know. Even
That
with
would-
even with
yeah.
his battle raps, it was
Yeah.
always like some funny shit. So I mean, he's doing it really big now, so that's
Yeah,
pretty
fool's
fucking
definitely
cool. Yeah,
doing it
he's
big.
putting it down for Mexican reggaeton, which
Yeah,
was
reggaeton.
something that nobody thought it was possible.
Nobody
Bro, to be
thought-
honest,
and he's doing it,
And he's doing big with
with his
Bogueto and, like,
own
all
way
kinds of
too.
shit. Yeah.
with his own like
his own lane, like his
Y
own.
ese güey, ¿dónde es, güey? ¿De Ciudad de México?
Ese way, yeah, I think.
So-
yeah.
so he's doing it
Or
in that-
Guadalajara, I think,
or
because he was very
Guadalajara.
Chivas
Oh, yeah,
fan.
yeah,
He's
yeah,
a
yeah.
Chivas fan.
I think he's Guadalajara, yeah.
Yo, I want to keep this hip hop though. Look, Batallas de los Gallos. How do you feel about that movement, bro? Is it necessary? Did they start something and then it just became bigger, bigger, bigger? Because from what I see, bro, sometimes they're filling up stadiums, bro.
Oh, yeah, they are, yeah. And I mean, the
Are these
thing
shows
is,
fucking free or some shit?
nah. But the show is good, especially when you have guys like Asesino putting up a big ass show where you know your ticket is gonna be fucking worth it. You know, just to. I mean, Asesino, everybody needs to fucking give it up for the guy.
It's such a dope league. It's
and- and-
it's brackets, right? And then
Shout
the
out to
best of the
Asesino.
best.
And like you said, it's elements. I mean, in hip hop, it's 4 elements, but I think it's worldwide. It's just branches of this big tree, you know.
And shout out to Red
So-
Bull. Red Bull be fucking with Asesino heavy, huh?
fuck yeah.
Shit. Shout out
So-
to Red Bull.
so-
I think Red Bull is more hip hop
Look,
than Mondo for sure.
When I met when I met Eptos Uno,
Shout out to Eptos
Shout
Uno.
out to Eptos. I think I met him like around 2015, 2016. I hosted his first LA event, right?
Okay.
But from what I remember, Johnny Beltran, Cerco Fu, there was a Red Bull can. Their fucking faces were on it, bro.
Yeah.
And it
Red
was
Bull's
sold
always been behind them.
nationwide in Mexico,
Yeah.
bro. So I can only imagine.
And then how do you see Eptos Uno?
He's dope.
Okay, from your point of view, like how do you describe his career?
I mean, I haven't followed it very much, but I've
No.
seen some
But
of
you're
the
aware
battles.
of his brand.
No, yeah, I've seen some of his battles. He's dope. Like, he's
Okay.
definitely given Asesino, I think, a hard time. I think he gave him a hard time. And,
Asesino, man, he's
yeah, I mean,
He's sponsored by
that whole
Puma.
generation. Yeah,
Yeah,
man,
he
Asesino,
is.
right? Yeah.
Yeah,
so I
they
think
are.
I think that branch of that sustains the street culture. You know, it's just a big part of
A
this whole thing.
lot of big brands in Mexico, like G-Shock.
Yeah.
Like Eptos Uno was sponsored by G-Shock, and like a lot of big brands are tapping in with this like fucking rap.
I mean, because Spanish
scene,
is a
bro.
big language too. Like, I mean, it's not only in Mexico.
Yeah, no, you're
you know,
right.
it's the
You're
whole
right.
Latin America. And
Yeah.
So it just
Yeah.
it makes numbers for the brands. So, you know,
Yeah.
that they can fucking recoup money off of.
And then also like Spanish, a lot of even other countries are quicker to pick up Spanish.
Yeah,
stuff.
they started fucking
Yeah.
with Spanish. Yeah, it's
Yeah, for
it's
sure.
that exotic thing, you know, like because you know for a while we weren't it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they weren't even look out here. Like Puerto Ricans and everybody, they were doing their thing very big. And
Downplaying
shit like
us,
that.
hating on us.
Yeah.
Shit. So now what's up,
fuck
nigga?
yeah, man. When I see fucking Peso Pluma, like
Fuck yeah,
fucking
fool.
knocking everybody off the
Fool,
charts
fool,
and shit like
when
that.
I saw Peso Pluma next to Doja Cat, I was like,
Yeah,
yo.
and he's a real one.
At
Like
the, at
if
the,
people
at
saying
the
like
Grammys.
people
and-
might say like, oh, he's a rich kid or like this and that. Like, nah, he's a real one, bro. Like,
Oh shit!
like,
Stamp. Try to
Yeah, 'cause,
try to
like,
Peso Pluma.
He
when
came
you're
from
out
the
there,
low bottoms.
when you're out there, you know who's there and who's not. You know who are the parties and who's not and shit. Like, or you hear shit and he's really
you definitely hear the whispers of like
definitely. When you're around, you definitely
hear the whispers of Weapons of Plumas affiliation. See,
I mean, it's been on the news and shit too. Like, but I mean, it's not really. Sometimes it's not really like that. Like, otherwise he'd be in jail. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
It's just like I said. Like, sometimes, like if they're paying you to fucking play 10 hours for like 2 days straight and shit like that, you eventually gonna develop a relationship with the guy that you're sharing all this drunk time with. Like, he's probably fucking sharing his fucking pains, like going shit. Like, they use you as, you know what I mean? You become a friend to them.
Yeah.
So like gifts and shit like that goes out. Like favors, like, hey, I need a car. I'm gonna be in Guadalajara. Can you let me borrow a car?
Yeah.
You know, some simple shit like that. But if you tell this to a reporter or sensationalism reporter or shit like that, you're gonna be, oh, they're making money off of the laundering money and all this shit, but it's not really like that, you know?
Yeah.
It looks sketchy. Yeah, it's a sketchy fucking friendship.
But even that
But
culture,
it's nothing illegal, you know what I mean?
And you know what I hate? That they always look at the Mexican thing and like, yo, bro, that's happening in the white America, you know?
Yeah, I mean, rap is
like rap.
rapping about it, you know what I mean?
If you look at who's behind certain people, that is all fucking big head fools from certain, so on and so on and so on.
But I mean, out here in America, they don't ever name like big drug dealers.
Yeah,
That's
they
the
don't,
thing.
yeah.
So who's who? Like, who's behind? You don't know. And even if you know their name, like, but who's that? You know, it's just an unknown guy. Whereas you say El Chapo, you say some fucking name like that. Oh, you know, and fucking everybody's scared.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's sometimes. I mean, I'm not saying there's not groups that might get involved or might get their fucking hands on shit because temptation is always a bitch.
Yeah.
But most of these famous guys wouldn't be there if they were doing shady shit because government's there, especially America. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Especially IRS and shit like that. Like, they wouldn't let you get off and shit like that. So
nah, for sure.
yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. And so, like, you growing up, like, let's say your friends, it was common people to just join the police and the National Guard and all that in Tijuana.
Nah, man. Like, from my hood, only one guy is a cop, and he's still my friend. He's from. They call him Los Vaquitas. Saludos to Pretty Eyes. He knows who he is.
Pretty Eyes. Shout out to Pretty Eyes.
Because he be wearing the face mask, the ski mask and shit, but he has really bright green eyes, bro. So
Yo, shout out to the homies.
But he's a real one, man. He's actually like a cop that I can tell you, like, he wants his city to do better. You know what I mean? He's one of those guys. Like,
hey, man, I have nothing but respect for all the police officers
Yo,
in Mexico.
and low key, let's keep it real. Underground hip hop hasn't even crossed the fucking border, dog. The fuck is going on?
I got you.
What the fuck is going on?
Wait, I got you.
Fraud niggas.
No. Uno is one of the biggest underground artists over there. And all of his influences are all underground artists.
Asesino battled Disaster out here in LA.
Oh, yeah, he did.
Asesino battled Disaster out here, bro.
Shout out to
what you talking about? Yeah.
No, I'm saying like
that was a big major underground, like big major underground movement.
Mondo underground hip hop hasn't been over there like this for
years. No, wait a minute.
Like,
we have underground rap over there.
Fraud nigga.
Prime. Mexico is one of our biggest markets.
I know, but have you touched the land?
We haven't been out there yet, but hey, you know, millions of kids flock to the website to check out new underground hip hop. Shout out to the whole Mexican market, dude. We get millions of views from over there, bro.
I bet.
These kids love underground hip hop, bro.
Hey, look, and right now, Mexico is the number one place where like hip hop is like in its natural form is buzzing the most, and you get
they really. There's a lot of kids like me like that would dissect lyrics and shit, because you know that's the thing. To understand it, we gotta translate it. And you gotta read that shit, so it makes you fucking getting to the lyrics. You know what I mean? Like if you really like the song, like that's what happened to me before I learned English, like 100%. Like I would bump a lot of music when I was young, and then when I bump it now, I'm like, oh shit! Like I start getting shit that I didn't really understand back in the day. But that's why I like G-Funk a lot, because you didn't really have to understand the lyrics to fuck with the beat. You know what I mean? G-Funk was fly as fuck. Like,
fuck yeah, fool.
Yeah, everybody was bumping that shit in TJ just because of the
were
beats.
Were you bumping Eminem? Or like, nah, fuck that white boy.
No. Yeah, like the real Slim Shady and all. When he first came out, when he first came out, when he was really with Dr. Dre and all them, everybody was fucking with him. MTV Awards and all that shit. We were there.
Him and Exhibit.
We were waiting the TV. Yeah,
for
definitely,
sure.
Man,
him and Exhibit had the other day I was listening to Exhibit's fucking like top songs. I'm like, damn, Exhibit had bangers.
Yeah, he has a song with Eminem.
He had like 20 bangers. He had like,
that album, Restless, is fucking sick.
Restless. He had a song with Eminem. man from the Chronic.
Yeah.
Bro, that fool has fucking bangers. I seen him perform.
And he seems like a cool ass guy too. I seen his interviews.
Me and Conejo
like...
met him at the Fools Gone Wild event because Conejo performed, so we were hanging out with Exhibit backstage.
Okay.
Fool, cool ass fool. Like, yo, let's take pictures. And he was talking to me, dog, like if he knew me. And I'm like, are you talking to the wrong person? He's like, yo, like as a homie, fool. Yeah. Because one thing at the Exhibit, he does give a lot of homies a lot of love. Shout out to Exhibit.
Okay.
Hey,
so
I'm gonna be. Well,
no, go ahead.
Is this breaking news right now? They killed Cheyo Anthrax today. That's crazy. Damn, that's fucked up. Rest in peace.
What were you gonna say?
Someone that it might be controversial out here if I say that people fuck with us is SPM. Like,
I could only imagine how big he is in Mexico.
Nah, he like, I mean, I'm a pretty big fan of a few of his songs too.
Well, SPM, it was very melodic.
Yeah, and
his voice, his tone of voice was
I spoke with
dope.
Mr. Shadow about this. I was like, yeah, bro, like I wouldn't fucking let him in my house. But I mean, if you play some of the songs, I'm like, yeah, I mean, I kind of fuck with it.
I
but
have to say
I also
though,
like. But it's like Maradona, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, how do you separate the talent from the person? Can you do that? You know?
I have to say, when at the time when he was at his prime, he was the biggest Latino Mexican voice in the world, bro.
For sure.
Exactly.
So don't be surprised if they flipped it on him, dog. Because the CIA, the government,
if
they don't like shit like that, bro.
No. I mean,
they don't like power like that, bro.
I wouldn't even go that route, fool. Because when you look at the
I'm just saying, but there is paperwork.
It gets weird, I know.
There is paperwork.
It gets weird.
And it's extensive paperwork.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like...
But do you feel me? There's always a conspiracy theory, dog.
But I mean,
because him being raza and just dominating, dog.
But look at Cypress Hill dominating, fool. Look at Dope House.
I mean,
look at
that's
Cypress Hill. Look at Frost. Frost was dominating. Let's not keep it real.
I mean, Little Rock had songs with Fat Joe in them when he was doing the reggaeton. He's in the Más Maíz video, bro.
Look, it's funny how a lot of...
Más Maíz video. Más Maíz there in that video with the Mexican flag, bro. Like he was one of them back in the days.
I book a lot of high profile rappers out here in LA. I do some of their biggest shows, right? A lot of people come at me like, hey, dog, you're gonna book SPM? Like, what the fuck? And I'm just like, I'm glad to know that I'll never book them, but someone is.
Yeah, definitely.
And I can guarantee you, Prime is gonna sell out, bro.
Yeah.
And you know what?
Regardless of how people fucking think.
You guys being LA guys, what do you guys think about that? What do you guys think about SPM?
I don't fuck with them. I would never allow him to be in my office because there's paperwork, and honestly, he's a pedophile. Like, but that being said, I still give him the benefit of the doubt that he was put away earlier than I expected because it's like he has such an influence, bro, and the government doesn't like that at all, bro.
Get the government. He wasn't that big.
I separate it. He has jams.
He wasn't that big.
No,
the government had to come and shut him down.
No. He was massive, dog.
He was not that big.
In the underground community, he was massive, bro.
But you're not that big until you hit TRL and these mainstreams. But his music.
At that time, he was owning all his masters.
No, I know, but to give it to him a little bit, I don't think it even has to be like CIA shit. That could be local government, bro. Like what's happening to Young Thug, like that's the state. That's not even like FBI. That's not even like shit. No, that's their local, like
they just couldn't.
It might be a cop that hates you from your fucking city. You know what I mean?
But
you might be,
but
the paperwork is there. I mean,
the paperwork is there.
But I mean, to this point though, I think it does happen. But it's not. I don't think it has to be that big, as in CIA shit like that. That shit, like your city can do that to you.
I feel it was on that level. I feel like it was on a national level.
Okay. Well, you haven't read the paperwork because there's several.
Yeah, the
cases.
paperwork. Yeah, I got.
There's several kids. I understand like.
Prime
set up.
Well, if he gets out of jail, are you going to sit him down right here at the podcast?
No, why would I? Who else we need it? We have bigger artists out here to work.
But I mean, would you fuck with like his music? Do you think?
I don't fuck with his music, but I definitely
because of what he did, or just because you don't like the music.
Oh no, the music is fire, fool. Wiggy. You know, I got fire.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
High school days, we're bumping that food. Heavy.
El Jugador and all this shit.
Heavy.
Mexican radio,
but
bro.
obviously, it's just too much. Where I just kind of step behind.
That's what I'm saying. Like.
Plus, I don't go out of my way, fool, to get online and get on this all this shit.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's
honestly,
even weirder because you're keeping it relevant. Like if you hate him, why you talk about him so much? You know what I mean? Like someone I fuck his music. I fuck with his music, but I don't be fucking like talking about him that much. You know
someone
what I mean?
that respects music. I'm a music journalist.
Do you really?
Like,
we don't know.
Yo, we were on tour, right? Prime, and we rubbed elbows with fucking some of the people from Dope House, dude. And it was nothing but love. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. Yeah, I'm just saying because I really check like the comments and I'm always reading like memes and all this shit.
Oh no, he's definitely very well
and to be honest, his haters have kept him relevant.
He's the only artist
more than his fans, to be honest.
Honestly, the last couple of years has been his
He's
haters.
been more relevant. Yeah, Mr. Capone, like you know what I mean. He's kept him relevant.
Fuck Mr. Capone.
I mean, but he kept mentioning him and shit like that, and I'm like, bro, you're not the one to do it. You know what I mean? Like
you're not the one.
You're not the one to do it.
You're a fucking guest.
Yeah.
You fucking weirdo.
But look. He's the first artist I've ever seen where he could get away with live concerts performing over the fucking phone.
Yeah.
Right?
SPM?
Because they put the phone on the mic and he raps and there's thousands of kids fucking reciting.
I want to say thousands of kids.
Have you ever seen those concerts?
No way.
Prime?
So you are bumping SPM on your download.
He checks his concerts. No,
that will be in his closet bumping SPM.
I don't bump SPM. I was never into him, but I
groundbreaking.
I respect
news.
his influence. I respect his influence, and he is going to be getting out soon. And
hey,
who knows where he's going to go, bro?
Breaking news.
Best believe
Underground hip hop supports SPM.
Hey, best believe.
Drop a bomb on it. Drop a bomb on it.
Yo, best believe no Jumper's going to interview that fool real quick.
Oh, definitely.
Of course. And no one's going to do
Hey,
it.
but isn't the channel going like that,
TV.
down a little bit or?
Fuck no.
They're going to a reset, fool.
Oh, okay.
They get rid of these gang members and they'll hire some new ones.
Because they're
next
pretty
season.
set up, right? Like
it's all street. Well. That's street culture podcast.
Okay.
And you know what? I don't even hate on Adam Jumper, fool. I don't hate on him at all. He's just pimping them niggas right now.
Hey, what's that other podcast you mentioned? Back on Fig or something?
Back on Fig.
That's Schoolboy's homeboy, right?
Yeah,
I've seen that.
That's a dope one right there.
Yeah, that's a dope one. I fuck with that guy. He's pretty cool.
So you're saying Drink Champs influenced you, but after episode 1, right? And then you realize, like Prime, like, fuck, I have to shoot this shit every week. Oh, shit, I might have to go 2 days a week. Shit, is this going to be sustainable? Can we do this? Like, what was going through your head, dog, when you were like, yo, like, this might not be able to stop?
Well, I've never meant it to stop. Like,
so once
I was gonna make it happen either way.
You were gonna make it happen.
I mean, I've always been that. Like, even when I was doing graffiti, like, I became like, I don't know if you heard of HEM, if you're familiar with crews and famous crews, Mexican crews, but HEM Mexico is like a really big OG crew from a big
Shout out to
crew. And I mean, when I was doing my murals and shit like that on my graffiti shit, I got an invite for them to join them. Like, you know what I mean?
That's some hip hop shit.
But you know what I told him? Like, I was like, nah, because I had made my own crew. I was like, if I fit to be from this crew, I'd rather make my crew big. You know what I mean? So I stayed with my crew and shit like that. So, and then when I went into the other shit, the street shit, I did it big too. Like, I mean, I was in the feds at the time I was 19. So like every time I thought about doing something, I do it big, you know? And it was the same, like with the music, you know, with Codiciado, we fucking made it big, you know. He was #1 for a while. We changed the whole shit with the whole dress. Like, all these kids you see dressing like that, not wearing suits and shit like that, that's my homie Codiciado doing it back in the day.
Codiciado.
So, and these are graffiti crews.
What, the HEM? Yeah, that was graffiti crew.
That's not no bullshit tagging crew.
No.
You know, block fucking gang member letters and shit.
Nah, anybody that knows.
Like Prime, when he was young, he would go fucking. He would put the fucking block lettering on the block and shit.
Remember, there's people that cover the culture, and there's people that are the culture.
So yeah, it was big graffiti.
That's what's up,
anybody that knows about HEM and shit like that, yeah, they know what's up. So yeah, but eventually when shit started evolving and they started going sideways, but when I found the music, you know, that's what I'm saying. We did it big too with Codiciado.
Yeah,
and so
sure.
When I was thinking about doing the podcast and like some of my writing and movie shit, like the movie's next, but right now with the podcast, I was like, I'm gonna go big. You know, I already knew about the industry, just being psyched of my homie Codiciado, going through all the industry shit which you heard of, like rip-offs and bad deals and all this shit. And all the shit that you hear in like the movies and the interviews and all shit. I was a psychic to that, you know. So I was the first person living that shit. So now that I started my own thing, not being a psychic and being actually in the wheel,
being in the front,
I kind of already had like a blueprint. It's always new. You don't know what's gonna fucking come, but you already kind of know what to expect.
But being a sidekick was mandatory, bro. You learned a lot.
Sometimes you learn.
Oh fuck yeah, because I was translating. He wouldn't speak English, so I was translating with like lawyers and shit like that, and just going over here with meetings with Jimmy Humilde and Angel del Villar and all these like people trying to convince them to like, hey, join my label, and all these nigga shit going around, you know.
Yeah.
Artists like stealing flow and saying, oh, that's my type of shit, and you know, all kinds of shit that involves and is pretty much related. Basically, it looks like the rap culture too.
Yeah,
you know?
it definitely has its own music for sure. It's music shit.
So being a part of that in the industry and shit, I kind of felt ready. But you're not really ready, you know what I mean? To fucking a new project.
Until you do it for honestly, you just gotta do it.
Yeah, I just knew like Like, to be honest, I've always been like I'll do favors for a bunch of people. Like, I'll hook you up, like reporters, if you're trying to get the homie, like I'll hook you up and shit like that. I always try to like new talents and shit. So years go by and people start, doing good, and now they owe you favors. And I mean, I'm not asking them to like, hey, you owe me a favor, but I know that if I ask them for something, that's how my homies with the camera started helping me. He might not charge me the first couple of sessions, but eventually he did. Or like editors, some people are like, hey, I'm done to edit for you for free. Like, I just want to be part of the team, because I already had this little cloud of, being around that coincidental shit.
And you know what? People do gotta earn their stripes.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, definitely. That's a must, bro.
I'm looking for some interns.
Exactly.
Next week, I'm going to all these fucking colleges and getting me a batch of little homies.
Yeah, exactly. Because there's always people like messaging and trying to like me. Like, I was that guy. You know what I mean? Like,
it's priceless for you to put somebody near. Or even be a part of a project.
And sometimes they don't understand. I'm like, bro, if I bring you into my circle, like you got all kinds of job opportunities. Yeah. Like, you don't even fucking know. Like, my homie, like, he started working with me, and then he was fucking taking pictures for Codiciado the next month. You know what I mean? And he was just like, nobody knew him. I just knew him from like a homie and shit. But he was willing to work, and he was helping me with the podcast and shit. So I was like, okay, brought him in the circle, and like, fucking, he hadn't been in a plane since he was like 9 years old. I got him in a private plane and shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so like, I fuck with new people that are eager to fucking do shit.
You're right. I mean? That's exactly who I was looking for over here.
So I mean, that's actually kind of pay off, and like I've gotten some like really good help. And it's funny, bro, because sometimes I don't like. There's people that won't fucking answer your phone once they make it. But life has a weird way of like somebody else helps you out. Like I met famous people just out of messaging them from fucking Instagram, and they'll be like, "Yo, I saw your Instagram. It's pretty cool." Like, like, I'm like, bro, I got like 6,000 followers. Like, what happened? Like, nah, you just seem like you tapped in. Like you said, like you just seem like you know what's up, and I just wanted to meet you and shit. Like, Andrew Schultz, bro, he fucking saw me. He's like,
shout out to Andrew Schultz.
He's like, hey, I saw you in the podcast. I was like, what the fuck?
Andrew
you know what I mean? That's one of those moments where I'm like,
yo, but look,
really,
look, I've never heard of your podcast. I am super fucking impressed. I'm on it. I'm researching it. You had Luis on there.
Oh yeah,
bro, I'm fucking surprised he hasn't been murdered yet, bro.
He's a homie.
Bro, I'm a big fan, bro, and I'm surprised he hasn't been fucking hung off a fucking bridge and shit, because like, he does some real shit, dog.
He's a real one. Yeah, he's a real one.
Fucking apparently he ran into that house, right? Like, as soon as
he did.
Oh my! And he met the mom and shit.
Yeah,
like, oh my god, bro! Like,
front line.
He's very passionate about reporting.
That works for Vice, huh? He works for Vice as well.
He did some jobs for them and shit like that.
A couple articles.
Shout out to Luis Chaparro. You know what I'm saying?
He's independent now. He just like he sells his.
Yeah, he's running for his fucking life, right? Like,
now he sells his what do you call it? His research and shit like that to like different. Rolling Stone or stuff like that, but he has his own.
He's a true journalist.
Go visit Saga, actually.
He's a true journalist, right?
He has a blog, like a paid blog, where he shares like he's really connected to like
breaking news,
like government people. Like he has the first like when you see pictures of like El Nini got extradited like 2 days ago. That picture that went viral, that's his picture, bro. Like he got it first. You know what I mean? That's his logo on it. So yeah, man, shout out to the homie. Like,
I might not or might be the producer of his podcast. There's been talks the last couple.
Nah, definitely, he's a real one, man.
2-3 months, there's been some talks with.
And it's funny because he's one of the guys where I was like, one day I was reading some shit and I came through his shit and I messaged him. I was like, man, that's bullshit. I was like, hey, wait, estás escribiendo puras mamadas. Like, I told him like that, but he was cool about it. He was like, hey, what do you mean? Like, well, tell me what's up.
Yeah.
And I kind of told him a little bit about some shit that he reported and shit like that. And then we just started becoming real cool after it. Like, because I was a fan of him. Because I was like, I fuck with the shit. So after he kind of like, he kind of saw that I knew what I was talking about.
Yeah.
He kind of like, we just became friends after that.
Shit, that's
He's been
fire.
on my podcast twice.
Oh, that's fire. Bro, when I seen that, I'm like, este way.
No, but that's a good choice, because for someone like me who's stumbling upon your shit, now I'm encouraged and motivated to check out all of your content.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
so it's always delicate,
Luis,
right? Like, who you gonna put on, right?
It's because that's the thing. The people that follow me and shit, they relate me to like street shit.
Yeah.
So, but I'm really like in 2 weeks, a podcast is coming out with a neuroscientist. Like, he's a homie, and he was explaining to me how like he created an app of making sounds and shit like that, and he tells me how to fucking it fucks with neurobiology and all kinds of shit. And I know that shit's not gonna get a lot of views, but it's gonna age good though. Like when I finally get more subscribers and people like you will be like, oh shit, he has with people like this.
Those
people are
topics,
gonna find that shit. You know,
if you clip them right, those topics,
that too.
Those are the ones that could go crazy viral without you even expecting that shit.
So I use like my Cartel like what do you call it, like I have some los cartuchos guardados, like because I know people are gonna. Those are gonna blow up.
Those are the ones that
those are the ones that are gonna like the hooks. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
those are my hooks.
Sure.
So
those are the ones that are gonna put you to in a different level.
Exactly. That's what bringing views. That it relates me to all these channels, the algorithm and shit. So I use those. I'll show like I did Luis Chaparro's cartel shit, and then I did the homie Taliban, which is cartel shit.
Sick.
And then I did the Los Cervantes, which is a norteño, kind of with the same stuff. And then it's the professor thing. So I know the views are might go down a little bit, but after that it's about time I started a new podcast with this. It's just some guy. He was one of the most wanted. They offered $2 million for him back in the day, and he's out and he wants me to tell his stories.
Damn,
so I'm gonna start that podcast, and that's gonna be another hook, because it's gonna be like there's a lot of things.
So that's gonna be a new podcast show or in the same channel.
It's in the same channel.
Okay, so make sure you guys subscribe to the El Bordo podcast on
That's
YouTube.
going to be in Spanish and English. Spanish and English.
Everyone watching right now, make sure you go to his Instagram at El Bordo MX, right? Click on that Linktree account. That Linktree is going to direct you to his YouTube, his blog, and the Facebook. Most importantly, go to the blog, subscribe, and then go to the Facebook and follow that page. Because support is important. And I just did that because now I'm very, very stoked out to check out his content tonight.
Thanks, man.
At
Appreciate
home.
It. Much appreciated.
Because of that dude, Luis. But then, see, that's what allows podcasters to become great. Because once he gets one good feature, then you want to check out all the other ones.
Yeah. That's why I don't try to do like niche. Like I try to be open because, I mean, it's me in life is like, that's who I talk to. Like, I talk to reporters. I talk to fucking big Warner fucking executives.
And the
I
fact
talk
that,
to sicarios on my fucking neighborhood.
The fact that you could do that way, like, and talk to like people, like say neuroscience, man, that only diversifies your, and also it makes to your fans and to your supporters. They'd be like, yo, this has an open mind to.
I actually want to teach them something, bro. Like, I'm fucking nerdy about science and shit. So I want to like. That blog that you just saw, like I used to write that every Sunday, like just post stories, and I made a big, like 13 chapters, and I would post them every Sunday.
That's fire.
And I had people reading.
And you know that's fire because all three of us were, two are still bloggers, but I used to be a blogger as well.
Yeah, but I tell like stories, just like a made up story. I was improvising, like freestyling every Sunday, bro, just continuing the story from last week. And I had people reading that never read a book, like fucking street dudes that they think like they're too cool for books and shit. Yeah. But it's just the fact that it was me speaking some street shit that they were reading it. And I got tons of messages of like homies being like, hey, bro, like I never read and shit, but this is cool as fuck. Like you get down. Like when are you writing the next chapter and shit like that?
Shit.
Yeah, I got a bunch of that.
So you like writing then?
Yeah, I like writing. So like that's when I was like, I remember I'd be having books in my house, like cartel books.
Are you writing scripts?
Yeah, right now, yeah, I'm practicing. I mean, I've never fucking went to school or anything, but I'm
that's when you finish some ideas, and copyright them, and let me see them.
Yeah, for sure. And I used to have books in my house and have like, let's say like cartel books. Yeah. And then my house was a spot, so everybody just showed up to my house and shit, and we were just chilling. And I'll tell them like, hey, bro, read from page 29 to 34, and it was a shootout. Because they wouldn't read like the boring shit, you know what I mean? They would only read like the parts with the shootings and shit like that. So they'll read that shit and be like, "Hey, bro, find me another one like that." You know what I mean? I was having motherfuckers read that I probably never would have read in their fucking life. So I thought that was pretty cool. You know what I mean? I was like, "Hey, if they're listening to me, I might as well teach them some shit." Like the neuroscience and shit like that.
I'm checking it out. Shout out to Blogspot. They make it really easy for cats.
Yeah, they do, man.
The first blog,
they do, man. Yeah, do.
Shout out to the homie. Let me read some of the two fucking chats. We got the homie from Costa Rica. Shout out to Costa Rica. And so somebody said, shout out to Yahid Saldivar. Who is that? Yahid Saldivar.
Oh, that's the cumbias. That's the cumbias, narco cumbias.
No, and
that's the narco cumbias.
And somebody said that Mr. Shadow episode was fire from your.
Gracias.
Yeah. Make sure you check that out.
That's one of the most viewed. That's one of the most viewed podcasts in my.
Shout out to
my
boy LA Native. Shout out to my boy Filthy Rich. I see you motherfuckers.
Yeah, hey, make sure you guys subscribe. And like I said, okay, so now I wanna go to some topics, right? Right to some topics and see what you guys think about. Obviously, we have today the biggest news on fucking news. Trump found guilty. So, former President Donald Trump was found guilty on all accounts on his New York criminal hush money trial, which he centered on allegations that he falsified business records to hide hush money payment to porn star Stormy Daniels ahead of the 2016.
Bro, are you fucking surprised, bro? Like, of course he's guilty, bro. This fool just...
He's a fucking thug.
He's definitely guilty.
He fucked a famous hooker, and it is what it is, bro. He's a multi-billionaire.
That's what multi-billionaires do.
That's what multi-billionaire. Hey, that's what you become a multi-billionaire.
Bro, what the fuck do you expect?
Yeah.
Do you think
broke motherfuckers do it. Like,
Yeah,
what do you
for
expect?
sure.
$5 billion, you know?
And do you think he will do time, or you think probably get a,
He's
like,
definitely not going to do time
He's not
because
doing
no one
time,
got
bro. He's not
hurt,
doing time.
no one lost money, and there's no witnesses to anything. So at best, he's going to get probation, and they, the Dems might fucking like try to ban him from
I mean, in the feds, you
from
see
like
some weird
campaigning and
cases,
shit.
bro.
Because I think they're all ultimately doing this because they know he's going to win, and this old man Biden who can't even run the fucking country, he can't even walk, talk, fucking. Can't even eat. He should be in an elderly home.
They both should be on the elderly home.
Right? But between both of them, bro,
Both of them
this
should
dude's
be.
off, bro.
They're
This
both.
Joe Biden's
They're
off.
both off.
And shout out to his fucking animal son of his,
You think we
Hunter
should
Biden,
have
bro. This
younger
fool's a
presidents?
savage.
You think we should have younger presidents?
Absolutely,
Hell yeah,
bro.
I feel like
What age would be more
I think
appropriate?
60s. So if you offer,
Unfortunately, I think Trump's gonna win because ultimately
honestly,
he's a celebrity. He's a fucking
it should
celebrity.
be within the 50s and 60s. Once you're in your 70s, you're out of touch and get the fuck out of
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
At the end, they don't even run their shit.
Like
It's their
Prime
cabinet.
told me yesterday he's voting for Trump.
Nah, I did not tell you anything. I'm voting for this right here. Nothing for fuck this selection.
I just ordered him a fucking "Make America Great Again" hat, dude.
Didn't you just tell me that your family is Team Biden?
Dude, I voted for Kanye West, dog, in the last election.
Cap.
I did. I saw the ballot.
Do you
I put
think
Kanye West.
if he's convicted, because he's obviously convicted, right? He's gonna get convicted.
Yeah.
Do you think that affects his like being able to be a president?
Fuck no.
No. So there's no law
They're
against
just
that.
giving it to the guy, bro. They made him more famous.
Okay.
They made him a goddamn martyr now.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and also back talking about fucking court, Diddy. So the federal investigators are preparing to bring accusers of the mogul Sean Diddy Cohn before federal grand jury. Damn, that's crazy that they're gonna like get out of the way to kind of look for victims and like put this case around Diddy. Like that's crazy because and even seeing all the recent like stories behind Diddy.
Okay,
and
so
those times.
another one.
Others-
Are you
others-
fucking
others-
surprised that he's just running gangbangs on bitches? Like,
Nah,
are you really
fool,
surprised, bro?
I'm not because he comes from that '90s fucking Hollywood
Supposedly,
culture.
Cassie
It's
has a
always-
story.
I mean, if-
Cassie has a story where she was drugged, she was drunk, and she's like fucking being gangbanged by like Diddy and like 8 of his homies.
Like,
Are you surprised?
Like allegedly, way. Like
Plus,
allegedly.
if you watch interviews or if you've been
Yeah.
watching it, they've been saying this. Like, people's been saying
they've
this.
been
so
saying it.
that's what-
Like even the fat Jew. You know who the fat Jew is? The
the
fat some like early Instagram fucking famous food. The fat Jew. He like 2008-9. He did a story on like. Yo, I was at Diddy's house in Miami, and I walked in him. And
Oh,
him,
yeah, I saw that.
Him
I
with
saw
a couple
that too, yeah.
guys.
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
That fool said this back in the days, and he didn't get sued for it.
Look,
because you
yeah.
could get sued
Yeah,
for
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Look,
so that's when
50
you know,
Cent been saying this
fool,
shit forever. 50 Cent's been saying this shit forever.
That's when you know, like, yo, there's some validity there. Because if you're not suing it, you can't. You know what I mean?
Look, P Diddy is the worst of the worst. He's
Take
a
that, take
fucking
that.
evil human being, bro. He represents the opposition. He's the enemy of the state, bro. What his and his minions represent is the full-blown representation of mainstream entertainment and selling your soul and like just bashing women, treating them like objects, fucking materialism to the key, bro. Like he's everything that I'm opposed to.
Question:
You know what I'm saying?
Do you fuck with Africa Bambaataa?
And he's a Fed. He's a Fed, so nothing's gonna happen to him. Nothing's
Question.
gonna happen to him.
Do you fuck with Africa
I know where this is
Bambaataa?
going. I
Fuck
know where
no.
this is going.
Okay, cool. Well, allegedly they call him Africa
yeah.
Bambaataa for a reason.
Yeah.
He's a legend. Obviously, he's one of the founders of like the old school, new school hip hop and shit.
Yeah.
But I
you
mean,
know.
Bill Burr said this in the Breakfast Club. He's like, this shit happens everywhere. Like,
Yeah,
there's
it
plumbers
does,
that does
fool.
this. There's fucking construction workers
Yeah.
doing weird shit. Like, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
It's not exclusive to fucking
I think
millionaires or
I think
the
it's just
elite
power.
or
I
shit
think
like
it's
that.
just power, right?
Nah, there's just freaky motherfuckers everywhere. Like, it doesn't matter. I don't think it's
any
not a matter.
form of power
I mean,
and any form
yeah,
is
that
going to
too,
be
yeah,
people abusing, like
corruption
let's say,
and
like,
shit
like
like that.
even like how many times have I seen like managers fucking all their employees?
yeah,
you know
that's
what
what
I
I'm
mean?
saying. Like,
Yo,
to get hired
who-
and shit like that.
We just posted a meme. Would you take $1 million to hide P Diddy in your home?
Fuck yeah, dog. Pull up, nigga. Hell yeah, pull up over here.
Knowing that now you're a public figure, you have a podcast, and potentially that podcast could be ruined if you're seen with this guy.
Well, obviously you're gonna
Well,
hide them.
Is that worth $1 million?
I mean, that's the question, or can we
Yeah, if
elaborate
you're
a little
hiding
bit?
him.
Nah, I'll
He's
probably
on the
like,
run and he has to hide.
Nah, I'll probably like fucking turn him in and just use that as fucking for my podcast. You know, I'm the motherfucker that turn him in.
You can't turn him in. You can't turn him in.
Well, if he's willing to hide in my house, that's because I know where he's at or some shit. You know what I mean?
There it is.
Yeah.
I could just fucking use that shit and like, hey, give him to the authorities and then be like, yeah.
Someone asked me like, someone asked me, will you take 50K? I'm like, fuck no, 50K is not
some
worth
people,
my reputation.
You know, I mean, politics over here might be like, oh, I don't snitch, so like, you know, that stuff.
Look, the way he.
But what we were saying in Mexico, like, you know, we
Mexico,
work
the
with the
culture is
government, bro.
different.
Like,
the way he beat Cassie on that video is disgusting.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. That's the thing. I have a trauma
You know?
with that shit, with domestic violence. So I'm not.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'm
Like-
not down with at all with none of that.
Nah,
shit,
that
bro.
shit was
Like,
horrible, fool.
Yeah, that
Shout out to
shit, that's
Cassie
no-no.
and her new family and her healing. You know?
Yeah.
Because I know
If there's
she
any
went through some
podcast
shit.
listeners or viewers that conduct themselves in some domestic violence, please stop.
Yeah.
It's not worth it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's
I
like-
learned the
yeah.
hard way when I was a kid. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And honestly,
So
it's
what?
not even worth it, bro.
So what? You were beating bitches out here?
When you were a
no.
kid.
But I've had women accuse me of domestic violence,
Damn,
and then
that
when the
sucks.
cops show up, they don't even question you. They just arrest you and take you in. You know what I'm saying?
No, the thing is, well,
Was this,
depends because you
was
know.
this happening at the turkey base at Norwalk?
At the, at the turkey-based
The
parties.
Norwalk Motel.
Well, I had a homie that he's the one that got beat up by his girl, but she called the cops. And then when they showed up and she was like, nah, he was beating me and all this shit, and they went and interrogated him, and they looked at him, and they went and handcuffed her ass because he was like, nah, he's all scratched up. You're like brand new. Like, you were beating him. Like, he was all fucked up, and he never put a hand on her. So they took her. And she had to she had the case and all that. She had to drop the charges and shit. But it was funny because he was like, I was scared because he had a visa. And he was like, I thought I was going to get like deported and like they were going to be on her side and shit like that. But once they saw his ass, he was all fucked up. Like she fucked him up.
Damn,
they were
that's
like, nah,
crazy.
he's the victim. You know what I mean? So they took her.
Shit.
Yeah, that's funny.
Talking about scandals and crazy shit. Hey, did you guys hear about the whistleblowers that are dying, that are exposing Boeing, the airplane
planes?
companies? Yeah. And you know how they're saying that there's like 300 active planes in the U.S. that could explode at any moment? Nah, that's crazy right now.
You know where that's derived
And
from, right?
I'm hearing that all these whistleblowers are people are dying. Like, I think 4 of them have been killed already, accidentally.
But to be
Well,
honest,
no, but look, this is all stemming from years of investigation, how they're lowering standards for engineers and employees to get hired with these companies. But because of equity and inclusion.
I was gonna say I'm gonna get in my tinfoil hat on this.
No.
one.
Like for me,
No, but who's their competition?
no. Let the white man continue to build these fucking planes because I don't want to die up there, bro. Don't be hiring some Mexicans and some dudes who have no
No,
fucking
but I
idea
mean,
what they're
you know,
doing. But the only reason why you're hiring them because of their skin color, because you need more diversity. I don't believe in that.
Nah, I don't.
I believe in what Elon Musk says. He said, "Bro, just hire people based on their talents and their skill set."
Nah, I get
Yeah.
I get
You know what I'm
that,
saying?
but I mean, it's,
so when it
it's-
comes to Boeing, all this has been going down because they've been hiring more and more people that are not white.
I don't think so.
Allegedly.
You think so?
That's,
Nah, I
that's
don't
what you
think so.
think? Look.
I think so.
But then how come the Silicon Valley most of the people are non-white?
Well, why do you
And
think
these are people that are
most
building their
pilots are
phones.
white? Well, why do you think most
But
pilots are white?
pilots are not even flying these planes. Is they're all self.
But I mean, how many pilots do you know, or how can you put that number out there? Like, be like most of them are white. Like,
Yeah, I don't think so.
Have you met that many pilots?
Well,
like,
no, this is what it stems
to be honest,
from.
my
These
conspiracy theory
whistleblowers,
is that if I was a
but these
competition with Boeing,
whistleblowers, all these
I
whistleblowers,
would be throwing those whistleblowers out.
yeah,
you know
but
what I mean?
all these whistleblowers are saying that it's because of equity and inclusion. This is going down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I think
they're
that
just
sounds
lowering
bullshit.
standards
That just
to get
sounds like
hired
bullshit.
with Boeing.
I think it's cap.
Yeah, it's cap.
You think so?
Because
Because a lot of these engineers are coming from other countries. For like the top ones are Indians.
or maybe just as a whole,
Full-
engineers
well,
are
nah,
not.
I think
are not as
this
sharp
is
right now.
more political.
If you look at Silicon Valley and you look at the races are like on the top of the food chain, like building
Indians
shit,
and stuff. Yeah,
or a
yeah.
lot of them are foreign. Like they're
Yeah, yeah.
African, they're Indian, they're from other countries.
No, I think this should be more like on a politic, like more of a
'Cause if
like
you-
the owners of Boeing
Because
having
honestly,
problems with other fucking big companies.
Shit, I think
And
the whites are falling off. The whites are just as bad as anybody else. What the fuck are you talking
but
about?
I mean, to be honest, like planes don't fall out of the sky every day, bro. Like that's one in
They
a
don't.
fucking. They don't. It's
They
not
don't.
really like that. So
It's more common for you to die of a car
that's what I'm
accident
saying.
than a
Yeah,
fucking
that's what I'm
plane.
saying. This sounds more like if I was in a competition with them and want to bring them down because I want to put my shit out. Like I'd be putting like this kind of shit out there.
And
you know what I mean?
Boeing have like priors to a lot of shit too. Like a lot of
that's what I'm saying. There's also like lawyers that take advantage of shit like that, where they see like spots where they can fucking sue or shit like that. This could build a case. You know what I mean? I think it goes more on that way than fucking like hiring people that are not, what do you call it? Like, ready for this kind of jobs or like
I think
but all these whistleblowers are being murdered, bro.
Yeah.
They got into a car accident. They ran into a fucking tree.
Let's keep it real. A lot of millennials are the ones who are in charge of the country, meaning like in these jobs.
Yeah.
And a lot of these millennials are like on some lazy shit too. They're all programmed.
That's the thing. No, that's what I'm saying. Maybe this generation of engineers are not as sharp and.
But I mean, you would see that with planes falling out of the sky. You know what I mean? You don't see the numbers are not there.
Oh well,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right. But there is a lot of incidents with the doors coming off. And they are breaking apart. There's a lot of those incidents. More than before, for sure.
Okay.
At least a little bit more. They're not falling off or they're not
that. I mean, but there's some evidence, like you said.
But
that's something.
There's
you know
definitely
what I
like, remember the one that happened recently where like the door was off and it was still on air.
Okay.
Like, yeah, so.
But I mean, even that is like one in a life, in a year. You know what I mean?
You are going to get that. You are going to get that too. Because there's millions of flights. So out of that, there's going to be casualties first.
So unless we don't get like 3 planes off in 1 week type shit, that's when you're like, what the fuck is happening?
So the homie Julio says it's financial, cutting corners, and they don't want to pay out.
Or they're buying some Chinese or fucking whack-ass metals and shit.
But I think it's a lot of politics behind it.
Oh,
like
yeah,
money
for sure.
and
money.
Shit like that.
That was definitely that. Okay, let's go to the next story. So back to rap. So you know El Fantasma?
Yeah.
So they dropped a Sig Jack and collab a few weeks ago.
I seen that. I didn't listen to it, but I seen that.
But let's check it out. Let me know what you think.
Yeah.
Or Armando?
Yep.
Since you're such a fucking hip hop dude, let me see. I wanted you to rate.
It's featuring G-Bone, Juero Diablo, Sig Jackin, right?
Yeah, and it's
Siguen en los.
You know, Fantasma worked in I think gardening.
Oh yeah,
gardening out here. Yeah, for a while.
He did.
I think so. Yeah, I've heard that.
All right, let's react to it on screen. Let me get it right real quick. My bad. Reaction. All right, so we have.
I've been trying to get Psycho Rum on my podcast.
Okay, so now everybody can see it, so we're gonna react to it. Let me move this shit out the way real quick, so y'all motherfuckers can see it, and then let's blow that shit up and let's go.
But I bet he's been knowing about all this.
Yeah, so shout out to both of them. Shout out to Afinarte Music for even getting me with that idea.
Sig Jackin always shows love to independent artists. He always shows love, man.
Shit, talking about.
I was blessed enough to, go to the drug lab. Dope ass fucking studio,
shout
man.
Shout out to fucking Duke, man. The sound of fucking Psycho Realm.
Yeah, his sound.
He's honestly, if you go to any Sig Jackin shows, that everybody's waiting to do the Duke verses.
Dude, the homie Razzcast.
That's what everybody pays for.
The homie Razzcast took me to his studio way back when, and it's so dope, bro. The drug lab is right there in Santa Fe Springs. It's fucking an iconic studio, man.
So let's keep it on hip hop. So Kendrick Lamar's "Good Kid, Mad City" is back in the top 20 Billboard chart, and is the longest charting hip hop album in history. Bro, shout out to Kendrick, man. Shout out to Compton. Shout out to LA.
To Kendrick Lamar.
Shout out to the West Side, fool. Shout out to the fucking culture. Shout out to the Paru. Shout out to the homies, to everybody, the Crips, the Paisas. Oh fuck yeah! In Compton, it's Paisas run that shit, fool.
Yeah,
Compton, Paisas run Compton. There's like this rich lawn farms. And it's all ranch food.
Oh yeah, they got horses and shit.
Beautiful ranches, fool. And a lot of Michoacan and Jalisco families own those. So man, shout out to Compton, shout out to fucking hip hop, shout out to rap, shout out to fucking just.
Hey, we should do some blogs for like Spanish, for my Spanish audience, like out in the hoods or something.
Actually, me and the homie, he's joining Colt, so we're gonna be producing some stuff. And man, just tune out because the homie, he's I like his style. I like how his whole life, how he fucking a lot of his hip hop influence and like timeline matches my timeline. So that's why I fuck with the homie heavy.
Look, I could care less about Kendrick Lamar. He's a full blown mainstream rapper.
But
shout out to Kendrick Lamar for having hundreds of millions of dollars invested to him by investors and white elites. that run the fucking jail systems and the jails and the prisons.
Armando rather suck Elon Musk's dick than praise Kendrick Lamar. I get it, bro. Yeah, I get it. Are you racist for? Is it because he's black?
If it's between Kendrick Lamar, if it's between Kendrick Lamar and Drake, of course I'm gonna fuck with Kendrick. But you know he's a mainstream rapper. I don't.
Yeah,
fuck with
but
that.
even if you're a mainstream rapper, rappers rap. Fool.
I don't think it takes away from his.
Bro,
at all.
You cannot write fucking diss tracks within a day and put it on a national level. It doesn't exist. It was all fucking planned. Little do you know, next year they're gonna be touring together.
Nah, I don't think it's like that.
No, not like that. You remember, it's Kendrick Lamar. It's TD,
all a distraction
TDE,
from keeping eyeballs away from Puff Daddy.
Nah, Puff Daddy.
I think that's impossible, man.
No,
nobody can keep away. Nobody can keep eyes away
Puff Daddy
from
shit is
that.
happening before that and after that. There's like new fucking drops every day.
If anything, Drake is going with him. Like, if anything, they was just part of that shit of taking down the. Like, to be honest, me, bro, since back in the day, I was always like, man, Drake was the worst thing that happened in hip hop. Like, I've never been a fan.
Are you bumping these tracks, the Kendrick tracks, every day in your car?
I am.
Like on fucking Prime.
You not like us. You not like us.
I bump it at the gym, bro. That like when Euphoria came out, bro. Like
Euphoria is.
I went to the gym, bro. Like I was excited because I've been feeling what he was saying in the song for the longest. That's why I think it was.
Euphoria is my favorite track of that fucking Spark.
Like that bar where he's like.
This fool Prime, when Future came out with some garbage with fucking Kendrick.
Where Kendrick set it off.
This fool was like, yo, you guys have to cover it. I'm like,
I was right. It became the biggest shit in fucking world.
It's the worst fucking song.
It became the biggest shit in the fucking world. So say what you want.
Hey, dog, that's how you know Prime is not a hip hop head.
Say what you want. Kendrick is holding the hip hop flag higher than any of your fucking.
He has a Future fucking poster in his bedroom,
bro. Nigga. Hey, shout out to the album. Shout out to the album right there. It's back to behind you guys.
I mean, I know you're underground, but Kendrick did make lyricism cool again, to be honest.
Absolutely.
People are breaking down lyrics and people are asking more of the artist. So I think that was pretty good for the culture.
Yeah, and shout out to the album.
Because eventually,
if
you like lyrics, you're gonna come down all the way to the underground where the real lyricism goes
real
down,
hip hop heads, they've always been breaking down lyrics. It's all about subject matter.
Yeah,
it's never disappeared.
But a lot of these people are boring as fuck.
Yeah, bro, that's the thing. Like
monotone flows. No,
I've always had mixed feelings with underground because I don't know what they're trying to do. Like.
And sometimes they only have one flow.
Sakuram is underground hip hop.
But he lives off his music, right?
Huh?
He lives off his music, right?
Absolutely.
So that's cool, right?
That's cool.
What happens if he goes mainstream one day? Just because people like him and
his music is full of substance and consciousness.
Is it?
With full of subject matter. It will never go mainstream.
No,
it's too educational.
No, but Kendrick is also, and he is
very
making
substance.
it cool. He's making it cool now to be like that. You know what I mean?
Very substance.
So like eventually, like Psycho Rome might be like go
if you keep it real
because people like him so much because he's dope. He's a fucking real dope artist.
And if you keep it real, Kendrick was way more vulnerable on records than Sick Jacket and most of these fucking underground rappers. Because a lot of these underground rappers,
purist,
a lot of these underground rappers rap and all these shit, but at the end of the day, they ain't about nothing. Shit, they don't do nothing. They're not about nothing. All they do is about rippity rap, and they're not even doing anything for their community.
I compare it to sometimes. I compare it to like like in soccer players, there's guys that could like what do you call it? Like dominar la pelota.
Yeah, for sure.
But they're not good in a game.
In the actual field.
But when they're doing the dominada, like damn, you see them do some crazy shit. But out in the field, they might not be the best player. You know. I feel like some rappers are like that. You know what I mean?
You're
like,
right, fool.
They're very good at their technicism and stuff like that, but it's not really depth in their their art.
Like Jay Electronica. Jay Electronica.
At the end of the day, yeah, you're good with the ball, like, but the real thing is the soccer game.
An actual
what's up with the
field.
game? Like you
In the stage.
come out to the field, that's where it really goes down.
And that's why I feel like Kendrick is he's the only one that's like.
Yeah, I don't think he's fake at anything. I mean, if anything, he has to work with the system because he's part of it. He's generating a lot, so you have to, like, when you get to a certain level, you have to. It's kind of impossible not to.
And he's a Pulitzer Prize fucking artist. Stands on the top of the fucking mountain. So talking about rappers, one of Mondo's favorite rappers right now. Let's react to his.
Probably never heard of this fucking rapper.
Let's talk about Frosty chasing dough straight out of the full community class.
Who's Frosty?
Is that the chubby guy?
Yeah, that is a chubby guy.
Oh, yeah,
I have no idea who Frosty is.
That fool has some pretty cool marketing. I'm not gonna lie, fool. This fool has some pretty cool marketing. So he just recently dissed Mr. Criminal on a record. Let's hear it.
Okay.
Hold on, let's hear it.
My bitch like to throw shit when she mad, told her toss my salad. Bitch think she gotta wanna bone me, I'ma snatch her lashes. Like to crash out on a new pussy, nigga, you can't have it. Young and feeling like that nigga digs all this ass I'm catching. Line them up, beat it down, on this couch I'm casting. She make my little Uzi work, then I start to spray. Once I get my nut, flip the narrow, bitch, go away. Yeah, bitch, leave me alone. All this rice and beans got me farting, but I'm in my zone. Crack the knob head with a beer, feeling like Stone Cold. Posting thug catches in italics when y'all get so bold. Treat a knob like a lawn chair, the way I make them fold. Damn, how your name criminal, but you went and told. Fuck. Anyways, bro, fuck a snitch. Fuck the 304, didn't pay, so I dug that ditch. Buried her on live stream, her body didn't even twitch.
That's crazy to witness this, like, criminal being a punching bag.
That's crazy. I mean,
that's crazy, fool.
I only fuck with one of his songs when he was in High Power.
Yeah.
High Power, the On the Streets one.
Yeah, for
that
sure.
was a cool song.
Yeah, cool song.
Yo, that has to be some of the fucking worst shit I've ever fucking heard in my life.
Oh, this guy's.
Like, that shit's a joke.
Hey,
That's
mean,
Frosty chasing dough.
But it makes sense.
I like his marketing. I like his marketing.
Hey, you know what, though?
But
Like,
it makes sense because the food community is fucking promoting him.
Shout out
It
to the
goes
food
hand in hand, bro.
community.
Hey, shout out to
Fucking
LA
trash
Icon.
with trash.
Shout out to Icon. Also, you calling Icon trash? That's what we're
Well, I'm
hearing.
not calling Icon trash.
Oh, okay.
But only trash promotes trash, bro.
please.
Hey, but what do you think, Prime? Like, what do you think about that flow? Like, everybody has that flow, and I think.
Yeah,
Like,
everybody
Come
has
on,
that.
dog.
I mean,
Give me a
I think
fucking
Draco
break.
was the
Draco,
one. You know,
for
I think
sure.
that was the one, and I think that it's cool that people are doing that flow. I think it's more of a Bay Area flow.
It is a Bay Area
But I
flow.
think Draco like perfection that shit, like his fucking.
Yeah.
I mean, even Nas shouted him out
Yeah,
in his
no,
album
for
because
sure.
of his fucking. I like his wordplay and shit, like
Yeah.
his lingo, and he plays with the words. I fuck with Draco, like rest in peace.
Yeah,
But I
rest
think
in
that
peace.
that style was like his.
Nah,
you know what I mean? I don't think
it's a
people
lot of
should-
these fools that have
Yeah,
that style,
I've seen a lot of them,
and a lot of them are not gonna bubble beyond that phone. Like
Yeah,
they feel
that's
like
the
they are.
thing, that's the thing.
Like honestly, besides Mexican OT and maybe peso maybe, and
Oh yeah,
everybody
I
else.
have some pesos. so
Honestly,
it's pretty
Prime, this can't be real, bro. Using the term rapper nowadays, dude, human beings are using that so loose.
Hey, what do you think? Why do you think Mexicans don't get as far as in the rap game out here?
In LA.
Just in America,
general, I
yeah,
just feel like we don't have good producers, fool. We don't have good producers. We lack good production. And the producers that we do have, they're stuck in the old school fucking formula of like three verses, fucking bloated ass hooks and G-Funk. A lot of
Yeah.
motherfuckers do that G-Funk and it's like disgusting, fool.
Yeah.
Like, ain't nobody want to hear G-Funk in this fucking year. and that's one of the reasons why, shout out to BJ Perico, but he doesn't like bubble over because he's stuck in that same sound. He's dope in LA. Locally, he does cool shit over here, but it's never gonna bubble out to even the Bay Area because it's just that sound is not it. And I don't know. That's how I feel.
What?
I just think it's premature, and I think in the next 10 years, you're gonna see more Mexican rappers or Latinos more than ever.
Oh yeah,
know what I'm
well, we have the ones that
Obviously,
we do have.
I'm
the
fully
product.
aware, and I fully respect my black brothers and sisters. It's the black culture, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, I was
let's
gonna-
be real. But Latinos were involved since day one.
no,
Yeah,
for
they
sure,
were-
for
yeah,
sure.
definitely. But I think that
But you're not gonna
Well-
sit here and tell me Eminem is the best rapper alive, bro. Like how a lot of people say.
I don't feel that.
Well,
know what I'm saying?
look,
He's really good,
Well,
but,
technically or musically, that's two different things.
Bro,
Okay,
the
yeah, there you
propaganda is so fake. Bro.
Okay. Technically, it's a bunch. It's probably be Black Thought, could be Eminem, could be a bunch of other unknown fools. But musically, the best rapper alive is Kendrick fucking Lamar. nigga. Compton in the fucking house.
To be honest, I think Mexicans over here, like in the more Americanized Mexicans out here, I think, fuck, I don't want to sound like,
No, say.
but I think we need to stick more to like our culture. Like, it's very mixed in with the blacks, but
Yeah.
it's nothing wrong with that. But I mean, if you pay attention to like Kendrick Lamar music stuff, they're very black. They're very with
Yeah.
them. You know what I mean?
Them.
They accept us. It's cool, you know.
Like
but
I feel like a lot of the new ones are like fitting in.
and I mean, like some Chicano culture, they don't. They look down a little bit on paisas.
They do.
And we're like, I mean, you know, we're the Mexicans, like, you know what I mean?
No, but
I think we stick more to like our not stick more to it, but more present, like. You know, a lot of people. I mean, I'm not that with Mexicans saying the N word. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that's cool. You know, like,
let's stick to
I
our.
think that's their thing, and
that's the reason why Mexican. I mean,
That's what I'm saying, we're kinda-
they're able to be big because they do like.
But not only
focus
that, only that is that they're embracing the corridos,
Yeah.
which is the real Mexican street shit. You
Yeah,
know what
it
I mean?
is, it is,
And I mean, over here, you some rappers out here, they rather work with nothing wrong, but they rather work with like a Cardi B or some shit like that, instead of like a Peso Pluma, instead of like a.
I agree.
You know, where it's our people, it's our culture, and we're divided. You know, we're divided in that the Mexican Americans and the Mexicans. Like I said, I'm from the border, so. And our community is the same, bro. Like, San Diego is the same guy as the guy from TJ, basically. It's not really that much divided. But you drive 2 hours up here, and it's a whole different vibe. You know what I mean? Like the Chicanos with the paisas.
I am so glad that you're sitting right here. You need to tell Prime stop using the N-word, bro. He drops it all the fucking time.
I mean, nothing wrong with that because that's the culture out here. That's part of it. You know what I mean? I get it.
I'm from South Central.
I get it. No, I get it. Like, I understand. I'm not knocking it.
There's no excuse, Prime.
But there isn't for like.
I'm just saying that's why I think going back to like why the Mexicans haven't going there is because we have been strong enough in our thing.
Yeah.
We're always trying to adopt it like the reggaeton, the black, the this, the that. But like, bro. Or mariachi or acordeones, like even our rappers, because that's why Jera and them are popping because they're working with all the Mexicans, like you know what I mean, the cumbias.
That's why all that shit. Aquid fucking had a little run, you know.
Yeah, and over there they were big, bro, and all the quinceañeras, Aquid was bumping, bro,
because of the people lift them up, and you're right.
Because Mexicans will fuck with you, you know what I mean. But the Chicanos is a little bit divided just because on the street politics, where it comes down to like the homies and the paisas.
No, and you're right,
like
and let's keep it real. Chicanos and Chicano rap they don't buy tickets, fool. They're
no, I mean, no. What I've noticed is their community is very very together. Like they I mean, at least in San Diego, like the shows I've been, like they do like support each other, like they're vending and stuff like that. But they're just them, you know what I mean? They don't really open up to
very
like
open,
They don't have they have like oldies instead of like norteños or instead of like Mexican. They don't mix it in with their culture because I don't know if they feel it's separate and stuff. But I mean, we're the same stuff. Like you be bumping Vicente Fernandez.
If you go to like fucking Whittier Boulevard for everybody's cruising, motherfucker, 90% is Mexican music, fool.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But in reality, you don't embrace it. You know what I mean? Like, you fuck with our music, but you don't fuck with me type stuff. You know what I mean? So, sure. I mean, I feel like if we found a way to connect all that, like just how fucking Kendrick goes black and black culture and he stands for that shit. I think if people start doing that shit with us, like our Mexicans, it wouldn't be this line divided from like Mexico to up here. You know what I mean? Because we have this division of like.
Yeah, you're right. And I have a question to you before you take off in here. Who's more influential for San Diego out of Mr. Shadow or Little Rob? Like as you being from like obviously in LA, obviously I feel like Little Rob did more like.
If you tell me personally, I think Shadow.
Shadow's more influential to San Diego.
Yeah. And also he told me in my podcast you should go watch like the whole Little thing.
Yeah.
Little One started that.
Okay.
A Little One started that in San Diego. Like there was no Littles before him, and they call him Little One because he was literally the little one from the crew. He was like 14, 12 or something like that, and he was like a short kid. So they will call him the Little One, like El Pequeño, the Little One. And that's where the little started, like the little this and the little that, and you know all this shit to like the black industry, like their hip hop.
There's a lot of littles.
Yeah, a lot of littles. But Shadow, like one of the things is like Till I Die. There's no cuss words. There's no cuss words in that.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So when he went to the radio,
Till I Die is the one for the radio, right? That one for the radio.
No. But like that song he doesn't cuss in it.
Oh shit. That's crazy.
No clean edition, no nothing. He just didn't cuss in that. So when he went to the radio station and he was like talking about it, they opened the doors for him and stuff, and they listened to like, oh, you didn't. There's no bad words in it. He's like, nah. I was like, oh, perfect. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they started playing that
Mr.
shit.
Shadow.
Shout out to Shadow, man. Shout out to Shadow.
Yo, I do wish that Shadow and Little Rob would like put their shit to the side and like if they go on tour, Shadow and Little Rob, because they had a very contract sound to me.
Their music together was dope.
Together, like they were very contrasty. That like
he sent him a message in my podcast.
Oh shit!
He told me he's like, hey, be a man and let's talk about our past and let's just give the people what they want. You know, like
because honestly, like
Shadow's ready. He's like he sent them. He literally looked at the camera and he started speaking to him. Like shit. Like that. So like that's why I think right now, like a few days ago when Little One and Little Rob got that picture together on Instagram.
Oh shit! Did they?
Yeah, like yesterday or like a few days ago.
Interesting. Shout out to the homies for going past us.
Yeah, and Shadow wasn't there, so that kind of, you know what I mean? I think that kind of lets you know where everybody stands.
You know what? Mr. Shadow shits on Little Rob, bro. Mr. Shadow's a goddamn icon.
To me, I think he's
the SD community. He's a real one.
He has the bars, bro. He has the beats.
Obviously, but I just feel like Little Rob had more of a influential thing.
Yeah, I think
like obviously Shadow to me.
He was more of an image, like Little Rob.
And also, let's keep it real. Shadow sounded like black influence, or no?
Not black. He was hip hop.
But not black influence.
But you know what? He was street, bro. Like I don't know about Little Rob, but Shadow was doing like he was out there, bro. Like sure. he was a real one. Like he was doing like street shit, and I don't think he raps about it. Like you tell like some of his raps, he talks about going to TJ and shit like that to party and shit. But like what I spoke to him behind camera and shit, like he was out there, like he was doing it. So he's a real one. Like he has bars, his beats, like, and he's really from his hood and shit like that. So I think
Mr. Shadow was dope.
Yeah.
He definitely was dope shit. And I, even like recently, I got to see all of these perform and like be right next to them, like Little One, Shadow. Dope, even recently, Little Rob. To see Little Rob still like packing out fucking like
that's dope.
Pretty good venues for and like Adelanto, and like damn, like because he is the biggest one Chicano of all time, right? He is.
But I think their niche just didn't let them get out there more. You know what I mean?
No, for sure. But the only thing that I will say that Little Rob has over everybody else is that Summer Nights, fool. That Summer Nights.
It has a few classics, yeah.
Black,
California.
Asian, California, at all. I've seen it being bumped, but like non-Latino.
His sampling and shit like that.
It's just that song. It's like a feel-good song. Like just like a summer.
Definitely. Like a city
like
summer song,
and it's, we love to barbecue, so that's why it's very like to see Summer Nights still like being respected as a dope Chicano West Coast rap record.
Yeah, that's like a soundtrack for a Sunday.
To me, like I do hold weight to it because it's like when people do mention Summer Nights, they like everybody like loves it. Not only like Mexicans, so that's why I do like.
I think it's our version to Today Was a Good Day from Ice Cube.
Shout out to that. We're about to clip this. Yeah, I do feel like Summer Nights. It is Today Is a Good Day by Ice Cube. Like
just
our
bumped that
version
shit on
of
a
it.
Sunday where everything went well. You know what I mean?
Bro, that fucking song is trash, bro. I'm an underground head, bro. Like, don't come at me with Summer Nights. It's fucking a radio hit.
This is somebody that's booked 5
He literally say a feel good music. I mean, we're not dissecting the lyrics. We're not doing shit. Hell yeah, all day.
Little Rob.
Shout out to Conejo.
Yeah, to be honest, like when they ask me like my top Chicano rappers, I don't have like 1, 2, 3. I think they sit in the same table. It's Shadow, Conejo, and Little One.
Okay, so to me, your top 5 Chicano rappers.
I don't know about the other 2, man. I only give you 3.
Oh shit, that's crazy.
That's real.
Yeah. For me, like I wouldn't even admit to San Diego being a better.
I mean, the Psycho Realm and Cypress Hill count as Chicano rappers.
Yeah.
Okay, then add them too because I wasn't counting them as Chicano rappers. Yeah. But if they do, then I'll put Sick Jacket.
Well, be real. Look, because a year ago I started a controversy with Chicano rap being dead. Be Real commented on my post and said, "I am Chicano rapper."
Oh, dope.
And he would like never exclude because somebody tried to exclude that fool, right? Oh, he don't count. He's like, bro, I'm Chicano.
It's not that he doesn't count, but I think it's more of a niche, the Chicano rap. And I think he's
but it was dope. It was dope for him.
It was dope. It was hell dope.
To say like, yo, I'm hip hop, I'm Chicano rap, I'm everything. Like,
hell yeah.
I mark all the boxes.
Yeah, because that song Lowrider, that's a classic too, bro, and that's Chicano. Yeah, hell yeah.
Shout out to fucking Be Real.
So yeah, I'll definitely put Be Real and Psycho Realm on that. Yeah, definitely. I'll close that one.
Okay. My top 5, we're counting them. I'm putting them too as well. I'm putting in LA. I'm putting Conejo, Sick Jacket, and in San Diego. Damn, that's a tough one, fool.
We got a lot of
San Diego San Diego has way more better rappers as a whole than LA.
Like
than
GPA
LA.
Was dope as fuck, but you didn't have a lot of music. But GPA is dope, bro.
To me, San Diego had more numbers of better talent than LA.
Yeah, I think so too.
Like in Chicano rap.
I mean, I know I'm in LA.
Because obviously, high power, fucking trash.
Nah, but even when Low Profile was doing it, like Khalifa Thugs and Silencer and all them guys, they were doing their thing back in the day. You know what I mean?
One thing that about Low Profile, they have great beat selection.
Yeah.
Great beat
so they
selection.
were doing the movement.
My opinion, like High Power was trash. Southland, whatever, was not it.
Yeah, Southland was not it.
Brownside never touched. And I wasn't raised with Brownside. They're from South Central, but no one like around me ever like, yo, bump him that Brownside. I didn't know about Brownside till like way later.
Hey, you
dude, Prime didn't tell you his favorite rapper is Mr. Capone?
Oh God, this is definitely one of those.
Hey, did you know though that Mr. Little One and I think Night Owl we're gonna get signed with Ruthless?
Yeah, I did hear that.
He told me that.
Don't forget about Night Owl. Night Owl's a fucking
dope-ass voice.
I mean, to be honest, I was never really much of a fan, but I know I give him my respects.
Night Owl has a voice.
Rest in peace. Rest in peace, Night Owl.
Night Owl and Shadow, both of them had like, obviously, Little One had the flow, But Shadow and Nada had a fucking presence on the mic.
Yeah.
They had a presence. For sure.
Yeah,
and even Diablo, too.
Oh, yeah, Diablo.
Fucking, I met Diablo. I pulled up to our LA show, Conejo, and we were chilling.
Yeah, well, he signed the guys I was telling you, Cartel de las Calles. Shout out to Peligro and the Soda. He signed them back in the day because they were doing it, bro. They were doing it big.
In my opinion, Diablo is one of the best Spanish rappers of all time.
Yeah, he's dope.
I think he's one of the best Spanish rappers of all time. Shout out to them. Hey, yo, it's getting a little late, so we'll wrap it up. Make sure we shout out. Hey, where can we find you, fool?
El Bordo MX, at El Bordo MX, or at Fernando TJMX.
All right, and make sure you tap into his YouTube channel and fucking
I'm gonna start doing
subscribe.
shit in English too. I'm gonna start doing stuff in English.
You're gonna see the homie and us, Cole, being working together because we do have some stuff in the works. Shout out to the hip hop blogger at underground. What was it? At hip
hop blogger. Make sure you guys support. Make sure you guys support the homie right here, man. Like follow his YouTube page, subscribe, watch his videos. We'll be back Tuesday.
Got some merch on sale too.
Get some merchandise.
Make sure the homie drops some merch. Get up and show it. Por favor, so that we can show it. Fit check. Show us the fit check. Check it out.
There it is, guys.
Sick, fool. Tijuanenses. I forgot hats. Hey, what's the website? What's the website for that? Where can they find it?
El Bordo MX.
El Bordo MX. Make sure you tap in with the homie. That fool got some dope shit. And like I said, you guys heard him right here. He's definitely tapped in with the culture. He knows what's popping in hip hop and corrido world and even in culture, period. So shout out to the homie for pulling up. I do appreciate you coming all the way from fucking San Diego. Shout out to Underground Hip Hop Blog. Make sure you guys follow me at PrimeGod87, the motherfucking king of LA, and motherfuckers better chicken because South Central runs LA.
Whoa.